month-to-month rise in the Consumer Price Index and a 2.8% surge from July of last year. The actual number has come in very close to that, with the cost of housing driving most of the increase. The cost of eating at home actually fell slightly from June to July.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Got a crash, Woodbine. It is 24 eastbound after I-440, exit 53. Briley Parkway northbound near Lebanon Pike, exit 8. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. I've been waiting for this moment all day long. It's time for the Matt Murphy Radio Show, underway for another day on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Oh, my goodness, that's all loosey-goosey. I need to tighten my buttons over here, get my screws on right. Get my screws on properly, and we'll get this show running and lumbering under its own weight. It's Tuesday, August 12, 2025. Thank you for being around with us. It is our episode 862 of these proceedings, and we appreciate you joining us, hopefully for every single one of them. If this is your first one, however, we thank you for that as well. We hold court until 7 o'clock tonight. We'll bring up any number of subjects, and at any time, if you want to opine on said same, you may do so by dialing us up at 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. It's day 206 of Donald Trump's second term as president of the United States of America. That's 206 out of 1,460 and 0.5. Lots to get into today. Lots of platforms to listen on. We appreciate your listening habits. We appreciate your viewing habits. If you are so inclined, you can go over to the television side of things. We'll have more on that in just a moment. You can obviously listen to us on the radio. You can listen to us on Spotify or TuneIn or iHeart or a variety of different platforms on your streaming applications. You can also download our own at Supertalk 99.7 WTN. And then, of course, that's that television side of things, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Join us over there when you do like and subscribe. we would appreciate that. Young Jackson Williams is behind the glass, making sure that everything that comes out of our speakers sounds as good as humanly possible. Hello, Jackson.
Is that what my job is?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
That, you screen telephone calls, you run television, you run the on-air broadcast on the radio, you run the podcast broadcast, you keep me in line, you run the dump button, a little too much for my taste. You do a lot of things around here. You know what Ken Weaver does?
He just does the news.
I just do
news.
the news, boys.
The news. Hello, Mr. Weaver.
How about you, boys?
What's happening?
Nothing much. Just writing up news. A lot of news today.
What's the big story over there?
Well, the top story coming up here at 3:30. It's sad. Apparently, they found an 18-year-old's body in the Duck River in Columbia this afternoon.
Oh, no.
So they got to figure that out.
That's unfortunate.
Yes.
No, that's no good.
Very, very unfortunate.
No, that's no good. I've got some more positive news coming from the studio
hear it.
area.
Woo, let's hear it.
I might not be around very much longer.
What are you talking about?
I might not be around very much longer, Ken, according to this email that I received.
Oh.
I'm going to share it with you fellas. I don't know if I'll share any of my good fortune with you, but I'm going to share this email with you. Now, the subject line of the email is in Arabic, so I can't read that.
They just need you to send some Bitcoin, Matt.
Well, you'll see. Hold on a second now. You'll see. So it says, well, I say the subject line. It's on top. There's one. It says, "Please, did you get my previous email?" And on top of that, there's Arabic, and it's Donny DANY at topnet.tn. I guess is who sent this to me, and it says the following. And this is why I might not be here very much longer, because I think I have been selected to receive good fortune. Hello and good morning. My name is Ms. Lya, Lyea, which is, there's a little bit of irony there because that's pronounced Lya, as in liar. Anyway, please, I will like you to help me claim and invest 30 kg of diamonds and 600 kg of pure gold, which runs into hundreds of millions of USD that is in your country. Please, it will not cost you any money or your time, and it is 100% legal. So, I mean, let's just diagnose this for a sentence. I mean, this says a lot right here.
I think you should click the link.
So this first sentence alone, we're talking about 30 kg of diamonds.
That would be kilograms.
That's kilograms, right? That's a lot of diamonds.
That's a whole bunch of ice.
And 600 kg of pure gold. Now, last I checked, fellas, that's 24 karat gold, which runs into hundreds of millions of USD. Jackson, if you had to guess, what's that stand for, USD?
United States Dollarinos.
How about that? All right, so please, it will not cost you any money or your time and is 100% legal. I'm contacting you because of my inability to travel now.
Wonder why?
Well, I mean, that's understandable. Well, I mean, I don't know that they are going to go into that with me, but I mean, there's any number of reasons why you might not be able to travel. Maybe you're, I don't know, detained in your current country because of a family matter. Perhaps you don't have any feet. I don't know.
Maybe you got a flat tire.
Maybe you got a flat tire. That's a good suggestion, Ken. Maybe your clothes are in the wash.
Yeah.
Maybe your cousin borrowed your Samsonite luggage and you don't have any other luggage to pack with. I mean, there's a lot of different reasons why you might be unable to travel. Please, for more details concerning this, write me back directly at my private email at paul.huver@fageldern.de. Thank you, Ms. Lya. Note, please write me back directly at my private email so I can give you the other information. So I feel pretty good. I'm quite positive that this is
Sounds like you need to start drafting an email.
I mean, I'm. Let me tell you. I mean, I feel strong that this is my opportunity to make some bank there, boys.
Congrats, Matt.
I mean, Ms. Lai is not even asking for anything.
No.
I mean, normally they say, hey, I'm going to need a couple of grand. You're going to have to deposit that so I can wire the money over because it takes a little money to wire the money. You know how it goes. I mean, we've all seen. I mean, and they're not even this Ms. Lai. She's not even a Nigerian prince or anything. She's just got some cash she wants to give away. So I got that going for me, which is, as they say, which is nice. I suppose there's people that fall for this stuff. I mean, not something this bad, but.
Hey, that's a pretty good one.
You think?
Most of it was grammatically correct.
Well, Jackson, I mean, I understand that you were publicly educated at the University of Tennessee, but I'm just going to read it again one more time. You ready?
Yes.
Please, I will like you to help me claim and invest $30K of diamonds and $600K of pure gold, which runs into hundreds of millions of USD that is in your country.
Okay.
Please, it will not cost you any money or time. It is 100% legal. I'm contacting you because of my inability to travel now.
This one might be real.
Maybe.
Matt,
you want me to forward it? You want me to forward it?
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I would agree. I mean, I wonder what would happen if I emailed Ms. Lai back.
Please email her and find out.
Tell her to send a pic, like to see.
Ken, what are we wanting from that outcome?
Oh, Ms. Lai.
Actually, send Miss Lai a Zoom link. Let's get her on the radio show.
Why not? See what's up.
Miss Laya.
Ms. Lyea. My goodness gracious. Yeah, Renee writes in, News 4 had a story today about scam emails and text. I feel like the scam emails have taken an uptick in my inbox. I don't know about you guys.
Dude, scam calls in the last 2 weeks, I probably get 2 to 3 a day. I've gotten 2 already today.
You know my favorite type of, and I don't mind answering the old spam risk calls, spam risk that you get on occasion on your cell phone.
Oh, yeah.
I'll answer some of those, and and then you get the occasional just rando call that you don't know where it's coming from. I'll occasionally answer one of those too. I love the ones that tell me that I need to hold, like they call me and tell me that I need to hold for them.
Well, they're scamming somebody else on the other line.
Maybe so.
You need to be more considerate.
Please hold while we connect you to your future scammer.
Please have your credit card info and social security number handy.
Not even any music. I mean, I'm just waiting in silence. And boy, oh boy, do they get a pleasant Matt Murphy when they get on the line.
Miss Laya. I like woman. Send pic. I like.
So my question is, I guess if I just reply to this email, there's no danger in that, right? Just replying to it?
Don't click on any link.
Yeah, I wouldn't open any links.
No. But as long as I don't click on a link, I'm going to reply. Here I go.
This might be a bad idea.
Why?
I don't know. These scammers are
Ms. Laya.
crafty.
Ms. Laya. What'd you say, Ken?
I like. Want see pic.
I like big butt. And I cannot lie. The other brothers.
Me lonely with all money. I want woman.
Deny cash.
I have too much money.
Please.
I need woman.
Too much to say. Respondo El Quico. Okay.
El Quick.
There we go. I got it.
Did you send it to her private email?
Well, no, I'm sending it
Matt!
to this Arabic crap.
That's the one rule.
The one rule was she said it twice, didn't she? No, I'm just Ms. Laya. I like big butt, and I cannot lie. My other brother denied cash. Too much money, please. Much to say. Respondo El Quica.
Roll Tide.
Okay, roll tide. I'll do that. They won't understand that one. Roll Tide. Matt. All right, let's see how that
Spell
goes.
it with 3 T's.
Oh, gosh.
It's now sent. Let's
Let's see
hope
what it is, man.
let's hope that works.
Awesome.
In the meantime, had a little beer summit with Freddie O'Connell last night, the mayor of the city of Nashville. It was a pleasant time was had by all, I believe.
Great.
Freddie and I and Al, Freddie and I had a conversation about the aftermath of Immigration and Customs Enforcement and the Tennessee Highway Patrol in a joint effort to try to get individuals off the street who are in the United States of America illegally. We talked about what I can say. Freddie had heard about our conversation on the radio show. I don't know that he heard it directly. Felt like that we were mischaracterizing his position on the issue. I said, I don't think we were at all, Freddie. We had polite disagreement on some of those subjects, had polite agreement on some other subjects. I don't know that he cared necessarily for me referring to him as feckless Freddie, although I don't think that if he called me feckless Matt, I would care for that very much either. But we had a discussion about that, but it was a very pleasant conversation. And outside of that, I'll just say that it remains to be seen what Freddie O'Connell is going to get done on a variety of issues. I defended my characterization of feckless Freddie as feckless Freddie. I said, I'm not calling you feckless regarding the immigration issue. You took a stand on the immigration issue. I thought it was completely the wrong stand on the immigration issue, but at least you took a stand. You said that Tennessee Highway Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement made our streets less safe. He defended that comment, saying that he thought that it did in certain immigrant communities, potentially undocumented immigrant communities. I said, well, it's not my responsibility to make people feel less safe when they have violated the law to be here in the first place, and I consider the criminal elements within those communities, they're making those communities less safe, certainly than the Tennessee Highway Patrol and Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Y'all know that where I'm at on the masking issue, we agreed on that point, but I said that at the same time, he maintains that there was a mistake involved in the placement of those names on that website, and he regrets that error, but maintains that it was an error, it was not intentional in its nature. Beyond that, we had a couple of conversations about, or a conversation, too, about Fusus and the future of license plate readers in the city of Nashville, and that is where I will start today. The mayor said to me that he understands the call for the placement of these things, but he maintains that he does not have the votes on the city council to get it done right now, to which I said, well, why not? Is it not time to start strong-arming these Metro councilors and start naming names? His position is, and this is not a direct quote from him, but his basic position is, look, if I brought up the contracts today, if you don't know where we are on license plate readers, and by the way, the license plate reader program in other communities has been wildly successful. Mount Juliet is a good example. I understand why my civil libertarian friends might be slightly against a license plate reader because you in some way believe that it is in violation of one's personal civil liberties to be flagged in that manner, or perhaps that the system is going to be abused in a way where it is not it's not used for its stated purpose. I understand that. I understand those concerns. I also understand that there are fail-safes in place. I'm a fan of license plate readers. Mayor Freddie O'Connell maintains that he is too, but said the issue has been at a standstill since earlier this year when a Metro Council resolution in support of LPRs failed to make it out of committee. I'll give you a rundown as to where we are in this city on license plate readers and why it is, in my opinion, of importance that they do something about it, because far too many communities exterior to Nashville are catching Nashville people doing bad things coming from Nashville and getting to their communities. Mount Juliet catches them, it seems like, every day. We shall discuss on the radio show today on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll talk about Democrats in Washington, D.C. that are suddenly pro-D.C. crime for some reason. We'll talk about Adam Schiff and his legal issues, which are very funny. I have a boring update that is not so boring, a non-boring, boring update on the way. And Representative Afton Bain says that she's willing to die on that hill, which I drove by the boring staging area right outside of the Capitol the other day, and there's no hill there. But she says over her dead body, which I suppose can be arranged. I mean, if she wants to get in front of the boring machine while it's in operation, I suppose that could be arranged. It's all to come on the Matt Murphy Show. Glad to have you with us on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Efficient Heating and Cooling is your one-stop shop for all things AC repair in our community. Let's talk about Jeff Eddy and the job that he does at Efficient Heating and Cooling. Friends, bottom line is this. If your AC's gone kaput, or if you don't know if it's kaput or not, it's time to call Jeff Eddy and get him in your life. Let Jeff or one of his techs come out, and Efficient Heating and Cooling will get to work demonstrating their efficiency, it's right there in the name, in getting your AC back up and running, because you need it this time of year, obviously. Now, sadly, there are life cycles to air conditioning units. And if yours has reached the end of its life, Jeff is going to give you that bad news, and he's going to tell you how to make it better. Now, they have a number of ways to make it better. They have financing options available at Efficient Heating and Cooling. They're an Elite Pro partner with Ream, so they can find you the right unit for you. It's all about whether to repair or replace, and sometimes that's an analysis that you need to lean on Jeff Eddy and his expertise with, but also your decision-making, but he'll give you all the information needed to make those decisions. EfficientHVAC.net for more information, EfficientHVAC.net, or give them a call today, 615-784-4424 for Efficient.
An 18-year-old's body found in the Duck River in Columbia. Police trying to figure out what happened. We'll get you the latest coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Why, thank you, Ken Weaver. 28 after the hour right now. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. So Mayor Freddie O'Connell, we had to get together last night. I mean, well, it was just, it was. He wanted to get together for a beer, and I said, sure. And so we did. And we conversed about a lot of things. I asked him, some of which was I feel comfortable in sharing. Some, I suppose, was off the record. But we did talk about the Boring Company. And I did clarify that he had a conversation with the Boring Company last year. And that he does not feel like some of his questions that he has recently posed. He did not indicate that those questions were posed last year, as he said his focus was on the transit referendum and getting a dedicated resource or a dedicated source of funding for transit. That's his position on it. But he did not indicate that the city was non-supportive of the idea of the tunnel. He said it's a state private venture right now. I asked him if he felt like at any point that, it might expand. He did not close the door on that possibility. Mayor Freddie O'Connell did say, he did not say this to me, he said this during a Friday roundtable, this was last week, that the issue of LPRs has been at a standstill since earlier in the year. Now, we did talk a little bit about this last night, as he indicated that while he might support LPRs all that he wants, if he cannot get a majority of the Metro Council to support LPRs, then there's no reason to bring the contracts up to the table. For those that don't know, Metro Council has already voted in favor of the LPR system, the implementation of the basic idea of the system. There's already been a test run on the LPRs. Now they just have to bring the contracts in front of the group and have them vote on the contracts. But Freddie says that if they can't even get a resolution in support of LPRs out of committee, he doesn't believe that the contracts stand a snowball's chance in hell. That's my characterization, not his. You saw what we saw a few months ago when Metro Council couldn't get it out of committee, a resolution in support of the concept. We want to make sure we're not creating new classes of victims. So I think it's still trying to find that balance. So we're continuing to have those conversations. And so we don't have decisions or a timeline right now. It just feels to me like the city of Nashville doesn't really care about the crime issues that's going on in our city. Now, I'm not putting words into this guy's mouth, but I mean, actions speak louder than, right? What say you? 615-737-9986. It's 31 after the hour on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. An 18-year-old's body found in the Duck River in Columbia this morning. Police trying to figure out what happened. Here's Channel 4's Amber Giant.
That's right. Well, right now, police are not giving us a lot of information. The name of the 18-year-old male still has not been released at this point, but we're told that police officers were called to this area around 9:30 this morning. We're here on Highway 31 after reports they came here of a report of a body that was found here.
Yeah, police say they've notified the family. Officials are stressing the importance of being prepared for emergencies while enjoying the great outdoors in Tennessee. This after a hiker died from a rattlesnake bite in Savage Gulf State Park in Grundy County on Friday. First responders say they got the call around 12:30, found the hiker about a half mile down the trail suffering from that rattlesnake bite. They performed CPR manually and with a machine, but the victim died at the hospital. Grundy County Emergency Management recommending to have some kind of first aid supplies while enjoying outdoor recreational activities and be mindful of wildlife. News that a Williamson County school is being sued over a biological boy who identifies as a girl being allowed to attend a required girls-only sex ed class has reached Majority Leader of the Tennessee Senate, Jack Johnson, who tells WTN's Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis the school may have violated state law.
When we reconvene our legislative session in January, we'll take a look at this. And if we need to tighten up the statute relative to this specific type of instance, we will certainly do so.
Yeah, reports say 13 girls opted out of that second day of class. They were too uncomfortable. And police in Austin are now identifying the Target store parking lot shooter from yesterday. When he was arrested, police say 32-year-old Ethan Neinecker was naked and holding a Bible claiming to be Jesus. He allegedly got the gun he used to shoot and kill random victims in the Target parking lot from a family member. One of his victims was a 4-year-old girl. Austin's police chief saying he had known mental illness. Also killed was the 4-year-old's grandfather and a Target employee who was collecting carts in the parking lot. The motive for the shooter remains unclear. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, the only crash I see on the interstates right now here in Middle Tennessee is going to be 24 eastbound right after the 440 exit 53. You've got the usual buildup going eastbound on 440 over 224. Particularly stop and go if you're eastbound East Loop downtown and then northbound 65 up to the South Loop. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You know, when it comes to large home repairs, a lot of times homeowners want to pretend that nothing's going wrong and they don't see the warning signs. That is a recipe for disaster. Take it from the 30,000 satisfied customers of USS. You need to make the call earlier rather than later. USS stands for United Structural Systems, and they're all about helping you understand what's going on with your home's foundation, with the waterproofing inside of your home or your concrete leveling, and solving the problem that presents itself in front of them. Homeowners simply trust USS. They've been keeping homes stable and dry since 1994. They serve you in Middle Tennessee, and they want you to be their next satisfied customer. Call them at 615-488-7855 if you've noticed any of the warning signs. You know, the stair step cracks in mortar joints or on your masonry. Perhaps you've noticed sagging or sinking. Maybe it's just a door or a window sticking, or perhaps the musty and moldy smells coming from your basement or crawl space. These are all warning signs that need to be addressed. Once again, 615-488-7855 or USSTN.com. 38 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, Jackson, don't tell anyone.
Yes.
Ken, don't tell anyone.
Okay.
But maybe we might have a Ms. Beasley sighting tomorrow.
You can have her come in here with me.
No, she can hang out with me.
We might have a Ms. Beasley sighting tomorrow. So I'm just.
What kind of dog is Miss Beasley?
Ms. Beasley is a terrier mix. She's a 20-pound, 22-pound bundle of trouble. What she is.
I'll have her some special waters here in the newsroom.
Oh, that's nice of you, Ken. There you go.
I'll have toys.
Oh, now we're Mrs. Beasley's going to love to hear this.
I'll give her special scratches.
We are
Okay,
competing.
Ken, we don't need to hear that.
We are competing for the love of Mrs. Beasley. Well, we'll find out. I'll know a little bit later on, but I think I'm dog sitting tomorrow. I think it's Bring Your Dog to Work Day tomorrow on Super Talk 99.7.
Should we all bring our dogs?
Did you told me you're what kind of dogs do you have? Now, I know Fred. Fred's a little wiener dog, right?
Yeah, he's a little red hair weenie.
Little weenie dog.
We family has one dog. He is like a Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix. Little guy.
Man. Cocker Spaniel and Poodle? Trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble. A lot of trouble over there, right?
No, he's chill.
I don't know. Was he trouble?
We got him as a rescue when he was like 2. So I think the trouble days had passed him by.
But you said you would be dog sitting over the weekend?
I am.
Golden?
Yeah, I got a golden retriever.
You know, Goldens, in my experience, y'all don't come at me. Don't at me, bro. Don't at me, bro. Don't at me, bro. But my experience, Goldens either sharp as a tack or dumb as a box of rocks. Really not a lot of in between.
I'd say that checks out.
They're sweet, though.
They're very sweet dogs.
Sweeter than all get out.
What's the name of the one that you're dog sitting?
Old Trout.
Trout?
Yes.
All
like the
right.
fish.
Oh, I bet Trout's dumb as a box of rocks, isn't he?
No.
No comment.
A little trout.
He's sweeter than sin.
Oh, poor Jack. No, 36-18. Jackson's not going to have toys like the WNBA. No, don't do that.
Gonna have little ropes and little tennis balls.
Yeah.
And stuff
Okay,
like that.
Ken, let's not.
Ms. Beasley loves little tennis balls.
Yeah.
17 days. I don't know what that means. A lot of you commenting on the LPR conversation. Let's get back into this. So the mayor said look up feckless, y'all. Just look it up.
All right.
How long must we study on this? I mean, feckless.
Whew.
Lacking initiative or strength of character, irresponsible.
Goodness.
Lacking initiative. That's what I want you to focus on. My goodness gracious. How long must we study on this before we either... My grandpa had a saying that I'm not allowed to say on the radio while it's controlled by the F, C, and C, but it involved doing something or getting off the pot. Y'all know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
And good gracious, just tell us one way or the other where you are on it. If you're going to be personally in favor of LPRs, then strong arm some of that council, get it on the table, and make them vote on it, which is the message that I gave him last night. The mayor said the city's still working to balance the voices of crime victims who have pushed for the technology and concerns from council members and community groups. Well, what are those concerns, pray tell? Those concerns include how LPR data might be used to target undocumented immigrants, particularly following past ICE crackdowns. Well, here's the bottom line. And Freddie and I had a long conversation about this last night. The Metro Nashville Police, if they cite individuals for non-arrestable offenses, then that individual doesn't get processed for immigration status through the system. As I understand it, if they are cited for an arrestable offense, then they do get processed through the system, and that is reported to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. None of that would change with this LPR system. None of it. Metro Council is divided. Some neighborhoods have already taken safety into their own hands by installing private LPR cameras. Supporters obviously point to areas like Mount Juliet, my adopted hometown, where police say the technology has helped identify suspects wanted in other jurisdictions. Obviously, this technology works. Obviously, it's all about flagging vehicles that have already been tracked for being stolen and whatnot. I mean, I just do not understand what the significant holdup is, except that it seems that Democrats have decided in 2025, and I'm not talking about the mayor, I'm talking about the city council. The Metro Council has decided they are on the side of the lawbreakers. They're on the side of the carjackers. They're on the side of the car stealers. They're on the side of the robbers and the rapists and the murderers. And not on the side of the law-abiding citizens who want to clean up crime where it exists in their communities. We see it in Washington, D.C. as well. My Lord, have you ever seen a more ridiculous, over-the-top reaction than we've seen out of Washington, D.C. right now? Where liberals all over the United States of America are slack-jawed in amazement that Donald Trump would demand that crime get cleaned up in the nation's capital. Donald Trump, as it's been stated over the last 24 hours, and I've not said it, he had a great analogy with regard to the way he thought about Washington, D.C. Washington, D.C. is the front porch of America. It's the welcome mat of the United States of America for foreign powers, for foreign dignitaries. Not just that, but for anyone that wants to come and visit our country. And if if they walk up to, if you drive into our driveway and our driveway's littered with trash, you know, you got busted down cars in the front yard, you got washing machines on the front porch, some beat up old couch on the front porch, lazy ass dogs laying on the front porch, trash and beer bottles and whatnot lying about, dirty old porch. Well, what do you think the rest of the world's going to think of this country? And it's putting the people that live there in danger as well, obviously. And Democrats actually are left with saying, I mean, their entire argument against Donald Trump taking over control, as he has his right to do, Section 740 of the Home Rule Act of 1973, their entire response boils down to one sentence. It's not that bad. That's their entire retort. Like if we were in a great debating society and Matt Murphy presented the levels of crime that exist in Washington, D.C., and if I present the legal authority that the President of the United States has to take over the Washington, D.C. police force per Section Rule 740 of the Home Rule Act of 1973, and previous to 1973, the President had ultimate authority as he would empower a 3-person panel to oversee all activities in Washington, D.C., to include council-type activities. And now he certainly has this authority, and I'm presenting all of this, and their entire response is, yeah, but it's not that bad. Well, wait a minute. Remember these same Democrats that were taking over control during COVID? Let me just compare this for a minute. What were we told when we had businesses that were forced to shut down, where livelihoods went by the wayside, when people who had put their blood, sweat, and tears into a business like a restaurant or another type business, for example, in the city of Nashville or in Birmingham, Alabama, or in Atlanta, Georgia, or in Sacramento, California, and all points in between, all of these communities that decided that they were going to do some shutdown activity, those businesses were told, you've got to shut it down. You can't open your doors for business. And if you have to close your business as a result, well, too bad. Why? Well, if it saves one life. Isn't that what we were told? Is that not what we were told? That we had to shut down the United States of America's economy because of COVID-19 against the basic concepts of science, by the way, and herd immunity. And I I don't need to relitigate any of that because those of us that were against the shutdowns from the beginning have been totally proven right with regard to what the quote-unquote vaccine could and could not do, what its efficacy would and would not be, and what herd immunity could or could not have done in order to mitigate the severity and the length of the time that we were shut down. All of that was put by the wayside because we were told if it saves one life, it's worth it. If it saves grandma or we were told we couldn't go to funerals. We couldn't go to the hospital to visit our sick grandmothers because if it saves one life, it's worth it. But now that Donald Trump and his administration have gotten a belly full of the crime that exists in Washington, D.C., and they recognize that they have an ability to do something about it, now we're told that one life isn't worth anything. Now we're told, oh, it's not that bad. What's y'all's problem, man? What's Freddie O'Connell's problem? Look, Mayor O'Connell claims that he's in favor of LPRs, that he doesn't have a problem with them. Well, then I would suggest do something about it. Force the council's hand. Make them vote on it. Why wouldn't you? After all, if it saves one life, after all, if it saves one life, isn't it worth it? More on the Washington, D.C. story. The reaction by the political left has been unbelievable. And your thoughts on license plate readers generally. 615-737-9986. It's 10 until 4 on Super Talk. Hello, folks. Matt Murphy. U.S. Pest is the best when it comes to pest control in our community all throughout Middle Tennessee. Hey, did you know that if you refer a neighbor or a friend or a family member to U.S. Pest, you'll receive a $50 credit on your account or a free mosquito, tick, and flea treatment? That's a pretty good deal. I encourage you, if you're not satisfied with your current pest control, to go ahead and make the call to U.S. Pest, like so many others have made. They have so many referrals within their system. You know why? Because they do the job the right way. Full-service pest control is a 100% money-back guarantee. Termite protection, also 100% money-back guarantee. Crawl space service, you're ready for it, 100% money-back guarantee. So if you are overrun with bugs, if you don't know if you're overrun with bugs, but if you are aware that you have fleas and ticks in the yard, you need to do something about that. You do it with U.S. Pest. Protection begins with U.S. Pest. I love saying this about J.K. and Erica Brister. They love the United States of America, and boy, do they hate bugs. Call them today, 590-1260, 615-590-1260 for our friends at U.S. Pest.
Right now in Middle Tennessee, police investigating after the body of an 18-year-old from Columbia was recovered from the Duck River. We'll tell you about that story and more at 4 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I got to figure out what's draining my... What the heck is draining my battery on my laptop?
Miss Leia?
Yeah, probably. That's actually...
Do you have a response?
I do not have a response as of yet. I do have something draining my battery. I'm down to 23% already. I don't know. Sometimes that's the Fox News website. One way or the other, I'll alert you as soon as we have a response from Ms. Leia. I'm excited to hear what she has to say to us about our communique, where we say, you know, we're very interested in her opportunity.
Am I going to get a cut of this?
Yeah, sure. If we get, that's apparently.
Hundreds of millions of dollars of USD in your country.
Yeah, it's pounds and pounds and pounds of pure gold, man. we got a lot of pounds. I don't know how many kilograms are in a pound, but there's a lot. I mean, we got a lot of pounds, a lot of gold. I don't know how she's getting it over here. We'll figure it out. We're gonna figure it out.
A big boat.
Ms. Leia is gonna help us figure it out. 3286 wants to know if we talked about the racetrack. I asked, and I was told that that we are still hopeful that something is going to happen very soon. But that was all I was told. So that's all I can tell you. I don't believe that is going to come to fruition. That is my gut on it. I can remain as hopeful as I want, but unless the community comes together and really rallies and pushes for Freddie to agree to that deal, then I don't think it's happening. This Metro Council, man, even, you know what? Say what you will about O'Connell. The Metro Council is far more left than Freddie. I'm telling y'all, for some of this, Freddie's not the problem. And I'm not defending him, but I'm suggesting that the Metro City Council is far more left than the mayor's office. Bobby is next up to talk about LPRs. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Bobo. We got Bobby up? I don't hear Bobby. Let's see. Try it again. No, I don't hear anything. Hello? Oh, hey, Bobby. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. You?
Man, Bobby, I'm great.
Hey, brother, I was hoping you would ask the mayor about the council reducing itself, man. I'm actually from Nashville, been from Nashville all my life. I'm 70-year-old. We've always had a liberal council, but like you say, it's more liberal now than it ever has. We've never had people can say what they want. I'm a conservative. I'm a Republican, or whatever you want to call it. But we had a mayor and a governor, Phil Bredesen. I will give him this much. Phil ran the government down there real good. We had a surplus as he was the mayor and as he was the governor. But ever since he left office, man, we've had people to come in through there left and right as far as the mayor goes. We had a mayor. You need to ask him about the convention center. When is that thing plan on being paid off? And as far as the fairgrounds goes,
well, hold on, hold your thought. I got music in the background, Bobby. I don't want to. I want to hear what you have to say about the fairgrounds, but I got news right now on Super Talk.
Four o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And right now in Middle Tennessee, police are investigating after the body of an 18-year-old from Columbia was recovered from the Duck River near the Highway 31 bridge in Columbia. Channel 4 talked to a fisherman who says this isn't the first time a body's been found in the river there.
They kayak a lot down through here. They let the kayaks out right down here, and they go downstream. Go different ways. Whole lot of kayaking go on down here.
Would you say it's dangerous on the water at all?
I would say a little bit. From the kids out there on them kayaks, to this for the kids, I would say. But the grown-ups, it's okay for them.
Is the water typically calm? Does it get rushy?
Yeah, it's real calm now. That's why I don't understand why they found the body, because the river's not high at all. It's really low right now.
Police have not publicly released the identity of the deceased, but the family has been notified. Officials in Grundy County say a hiker died after getting bit by a rattlesnake. Happened Friday in the Savage Gulf State Park. First responders getting a call around 12:30. They say they found the victim a half-mile down the trail. They performed CPR, but the hiker died at the hospital. Grundy County Emergency Management recommending to have some kind of first aid supplies while enjoying outdoor recreational activities and be mindful of the wildlife and the dangers that some wildlife may pose. Right now in Nashville, police currently searching for 2 suspects involved in a shootout with a clerk at a tobacco store on the corner of Bell Road and Murfreesboro Pike last night. Here's Channel 4's Joyland Bukovac. She was on the scene this morning.
Metro police say 2 men with their faces partially covered walked inside, got into a fight with an employee, and then started shooting. Right now, police say they are not sure of a motive yet, but within minutes, that fight moved outside and even more shots were fired between the worker and the suspects. The employee was shot in the stomach and then rushed to the hospital. His injuries are not believed to be life-threatening.
Yeah, the suspects left the scene in a vehicle, which detectives are working to identify. We're learning new details involving the active shooter who killed 3 people outside of that Target store in Austin, Texas yesterday when he was arrested. Police say 32-year-old Ethan Nineker was naked and holding a Bible claiming to be Jesus. He allegedly got the gun that he used to shoot and kill the random victims in the Target parking lot from a family member. And authorities in Atlanta releasing new details of last week's CDC shooting that killed a police officer near Emory University. Over 500 shell casings, 5 firearms, and other evidence has been recovered and will be submitted for further forensic testing. Close to 200 rounds impacted 6 of those CDC buildings.
Preliminary information from the DeKalb County Medical Examiner's Office indicates that Officer David Rose's injuries were caused by one of the shooter's weapons. The shooter died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Police say the shooter, 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White, may have been motivated by a grievance related to the COVID-19 vaccine, which he reportedly blamed for making him ill and depressed. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, got a crash reported by the Highway Patrol in Franklin. This is 65 southbound approaching I-840. Here in Nashville, 24 eastbound after I-440. That is being cleared, but traffic is still slow. Then Robertson County Highway Patrol reporting a crash. 65 southbound just past Gallatin Cross Plains, Highway 25, exit 112. And in Murfreesboro, got a crash blocking the left lane. 840 westbound just past Jefferson Pike. And in Clarksville, Highway Patrol reporting a crash 24 eastbound near Rossview Road. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hey, what's up, friends? Matt Murphy Show, Super Talk 99.7 WTN, 8 minutes after 4 o'clock. Glad you've decided to join us. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative of that. We've got another 3 hours of time before we hand off to Mark Levin later on tonight, and we attempt to utilize every single moment of it. There's Ken Weaver in the newsroom, Jackson Williams behind the glass, screening your telephone calls, and generally speaking, making sure everything that comes out of our speaker sounds as good as possible. And your humble correspondent. I'll get back to Bobby's call in a moment. I have not forgotten about you, Bobby. The content of that conversation involves around LPRs, and Bobby had a few things to say about the Speedway. This is kind of just consistent with my relating to you the conversation that I had, a little bit of a beer summit. For those who asked, Freddie had a chicken scratch, and I had a chicken scratch. And then I transitioned to a sour, and then eventually my third beer was neither one of those. It was like a darker. I don't care for IPAs, so it was some sort of darker wheat-based beer that's a non-IPA.
IPA time to slay.
Are you an IPA fan? Are you a beer fan?
I'll drink a beer.
Yeah?
Mick Ultra.
Oh, dear. Okay. I mean,
I love White Claws, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's, I mean, that's a take. That's a hot take.
They're just lighter.
Weren't we talking about a dandy yesterday?
I mean, you can call me a dandy all you want, bud.
No. I'll drink if somebody hands me a White Claw, I'll drink it. I mean, I drink OP. You know what OP is?
No.
Other people's.
Oh.
That's what I drink. So I'm not judging you, Jackson, when you tell me that you like a good seltzer.
I like to try all the different ones.
Here's the thing, Jackson. You're not walking new territory for me, because I have for years carried a burden that you might not be aware of. And that burden,
I thought I was your burden.
No, well, that remains to be seen. That burden is that I'm a Zima man.
Zima.
I loved Zima. Absolutely loved Zima.
What is a Zima?
Zima is like a White Claw before White Claw, or it was a malted beverage.
Oh, like a Four Loko.
That was citrusy in nature. It was not sweet. People misremember Zimas, and they think it was a wine cooler. Zimas were not sweet like that, although they were probably sweeter than a beer. But Zimas were it's just hard to describe. They were a citrusy, alcoholic malted beverage. You ever have a Zima, Ken?
I believe I did. I believe I did have a Zima at one point. I love it. Believe. What am I talking about? I know I probably did.
I loved them.
I tell you what wine coolers I liked, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of them, but remember they were neon green, and it's whenever wine coolers first came out.
Huh.
Oh, they were a big deal.
Bartles and James. I remember Bartles and James.
Well, I remember Bartles and James,
Yeah.
but these weren't Bartles and James. I cannot remember for the life of me what the brand of this was.
I bet you that someone on the Super Text line will remember wine coolers from back in the day.
Yeah, I'd always grab one after the Coors
That's
Light
whatever.
ran
That's
out.
whatever. You know. And here they come. 1607. Zima, did you carry a purse? No, but I'll whip your ass with that, Zima. How about that?
Matt.
I'll take you over the head with a bottle. How about that? I mean, if you want to come at me, bro, let's go.
Come at me, bro.
Let's go.
Matt, have you ever heard of a Four Loko?
I have.
You know what that is, right?
Yeah, like 12% alcohol or something.
It
like
was
that.
Well, the original Four Loko was a combination between alcohol and malt liquor in a tall boy.
Sure. Okay.
And then they banned that because
You know.
because
that's what they do.
Yeah. So then now it's just the malt liquor. That was probably my generation's Zima.
Well, here's the thing. Zima might have been marketed to women, but women didn't like it. It's why Zima went off the market. You know what women liked? Wine coolers.
Yeah,
wine
they did.
coolers. And they didn't care for Zima because it wasn't sweet. It was just it was a citrusy malted beverage, which I still absolutely love. And yes, if you note a slight tone of defensiveness in my voice, it's because I'm defensive about this.
Hey, Matt.
What?
My mom just texted me and said Zimas are amazing.
There you go.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Mama Jackson and Matt Murphy like Zimas.
You remember how girls would always they'd always smoke Virginia Slims?
Oh, yeah.
Why did girls do that?
I don't know.
Why did they smoke Virginia Slims?
Or Capris. Remember those little
Capris
dainty Capris?
and Virginia Slims.
Oh, yeah. Virginia Slims. I knew a girl. I dated a girl in high school that smoked Benson & Hedges Deluxe Ultralight 100s in the box.
Oh, I have a really good girlfriend who did that.
Benson & Hedges Deluxe Ultralight 100s in the box. And I remember saying that because I bought her cigarettes all the time. Benson & Hedges. Sounds like a damn law firm. Smoke them if you got them.
Oh, man. I miss those days, Brother Murphy. I miss them.
Man. So, yeah. So, look, I'm a Zima guy, and it's a cross. It's a burden that I will carry. So, no, Jackson, I'm not going to accuse you of I'm not going to do anything with your admission that you like a white claw from now and again. But people asked what Freddie drank, and I'm just here to tell you. He had himself a couple of chicken scratches, and there you go.
What is a chicken scratch?
It's a lager beer. It's a local lager. I don't know. I guess maybe I should know who makes it. I don't think it's Chicken Scratch that makes it, but it's a local brewery that makes it.
I'll look that up.
Might be, well, I don't want to say who. I don't want to guess. But
I won't say it on the air.
Yeah, James says we always used to call Virginia Slim something else. Yes, James, I remember what we called them because women always smoked them.
Oh, I know who does the
Who does Chicken Scratch?
It says
It's not Tailgate, is it?
no.
No, I didn't think so.
According to this, I don't. Little Harpeth?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Little Harpeth
Little
Brewery?
Harpeth Brewery does Chicken Scratch.
And they're only in the airport?
I don't know about that. They were. We had one at Neighbors in Germantown last night.
I just saw a bottle of Zima. This thing looks ancient.
Well, yeah, they don't make them anymore.
Yeah, they were back in the late 80s, right?
But they brought them back a few years ago. Here's what I'll say. They brought them back a few years ago, and I had already admitted in Birmingham, Alabama. This may be 5 or 6 years ago. I had admitted my love of Zima publicly on the radio, and I think Coors bought Zima.
Oh yeah.
And they brought them back as a summertime. They thought they could take advantage of like the Seagram's Ice phase,
I remember that.
the White Claws, and so they brought them back as a way. Hey, well, let's reintroduce these, and people will love them. And apparently that wasn't the case, but I probably received 2 cases of Zima.
How were they?
Delicious. I mean, they were fresh. They were new. They weren't old school. They were delicious, Jackson. Delicious. I had me a one season of Georgia Bulldog football. I had me a couple of delicious Zimas every game.
Yes, sir.
It was a game day ritual that season.
Did y'all win the Natty?
That was not a year that we won the Natty.
Better not drink those again.
I think it was 2017 though. I think we went to the national championship that year.
Oh, 4th and 23.
Thank you. That was 4th and 26, and I do appreciate you bringing that up, Jackson. Thank you so much.
Tua rolls to his left.
Oh, yeah. That's
Fires
right.
deep down the field.
You remember we sacked him on first down. That's why it was 2nd and 26.
You know what you didn't do?
Busted, protect against that busted coverage. The safety didn't roll out over the top.
Do you replay that play in your mind?
Only when someone else brings it up.
What about the
replay
Falcons
in my mind?
28-3.
Why are you there to hurt me? You know I'm weak. I told Jackson earlier today, I'm not feeling my best. I think I'm a little under the weather. I might be getting sick.
Right.
And Jackson has taken that little sign of weakness and he's trying to exploit it by bringing up all my worst memories.
I feel like if I just get you angry enough, it'll beat the sickness.
Well, look,
so let's talk about Jawan Jennings in 2016.
Just to think that I made a recommendation just days ago that we could have a daily or a weekly segment during the football season called Jackson on Sports.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Would that be good? No.
I think we'd have fun.
Well, let's forget about it. How about that? Let's just forget about that.
I hurt his feelings, Ken.
2nd and 26. Oh, God, it still stings.
I don't want to hear you boys talk about anything upsetting in football.
Oh, yeah.
Because you have no freaking idea.
Brother Weaver.
When's the last time the Sooners won the Natty?
When Josh Heupel was the quarterback.
Was that right? Is that right? Was it before or after Old Smoky?
It was 2000.
Oh, it's after Old Smoky. Y'all have won a Natty since the Tennessee Vols, kid?
Yeah.
But he's our head coach.
And now he's their head coach.
I was in attendance.
It's a deep subject. So
yeah,
far.
it took me a second. I was in attendance for the Georgia State, Tennessee losing to Georgia State.
Some things you just don't get over.
I needed a Zima that day.
I bet.
You boys should have been in Boise, Idaho back in 2006.
Oh, man. I'd forgotten about that one, Ken.
Wasn't that the Fiesta Bowl?
Yes.
Ken
with Sam Bradford.
No.
Let me
Sam Bradford.
Let me explain to you how good friends do things there, Jackson. Have I ever brought up Baker Mayfield and the Rose Bowl to Ken Weaver? Ever. Ken Weaver, have I ever brought it up?
You don't have to bring up Baker. You got to bring up that Sooner defense. Good Lord, had a 31-14 lead.
Have I ever asked Ken how that halftime felt to him?
Oh, son of a biscuit.
I bet it felt good.
I thought Ken might have said it there.
I think halftime felt good.
I think Lincoln Riley, I think he deliberately tried to hurt my program.
So he could get to
Did it on purpose.
So he can get to USC.
Hey, I know what, boys. We're leading Georgia 31-14. How about if we try a squib kick and give them a chance to kick field goal going into halftime?
It was not a good idea. It was not a good idea.
Then Sony Michel and Nick Chubb just up and down the field.
Football, a couple weeks, y'all. Couple weeks.
I can't freaking wait. I cannot freaking
tie my emotional well-being to 18 to 22-year-olds.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, no, Bob's not still. Good Lord, Bob hung up.
That's your fault.
It is my fault because we started talking about Zima. I'm so sorry, Bob. I love you. Let's talk more about LPRs in the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. I do not believe that is ever going to happen. Look. I don't pretend to be inside of the head of Mayor Freddie O'Connell, although I've tried to pick his brain as much as possible on this subject. But I do believe that there are powerful interests that are holding that decision-making process at bay. I think those powerful interests are involved in Geodis Park and the Nashville Soccer Club. Namely, I believe that powerful interest is John Ingram. I believe that with all my heart and all my soul. Mayor Freddie O'Connell denies that is the consideration that is withholding their decision-making process for the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. For those that do not know, the Speedway is on property adjacent to Geodis Park and condominiums built by Mr. Ingram himself. The suggestion being made by me, Matt Murphy. I'm not hiding behind, well, people say. You know, I don't like all that, by the way. People say. No, I say that John Ingram is holding money for, quote, affordable housing in this city on the premise that he gets his hands on the property currently occupied by the Fairground Speedway. A Fairground Speedway that has to be in operation. It is a part of the Nashville Metro Council charter, and it was doubled down on by the people of this community, in 2017, 2016? I forget what year. Freddie claims that he supports the racetrack. Well, then sign the documents. Bristol Motor Speedway has offered $130 million in investment on that property. They're going to completely redo that property. They're going to put up sound abatement, making it less of a noise nuisance in that community. They're going to build into the community. They're going to support that community. They're going to rebuild that racetrack. They're going to bring a NASCAR race to that racetrack every other year, infusing hundreds of thousands of dollars in this community. And I believe, and Matt Murphy talking, that one guy's holding it up. Multi-gajillionaire John Ingram. Why? Because he wants more condominiums or parking for his condominiums on that property. That's why. And he has secretly organized whatever opposition there is to the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. The Fairgrounds Speedway pre-existed the Metro Council, which is why the Metro Council is beholden to the Fairgrounds Speedway. And all it would take is to sign off on the documents. They're trying to wait out Bristol Motor Speedway, wait out Speedway Motorsports, and ask the mayor, ask the city council. You can't get an answer to the question because they're just against it. They're against bettering that part of this city. Because why? My opinion, John Ingram. That's why. Now, you tell me I'm wrong. Oh, mayor won't say that. Mayor won't admit that. Mayor says that Mayor would tell you I'm absolutely wrong about that. But I'm here to tell you I don't believe him. It's 23 after the hour. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Volunteer Outfitters. Lots to say about Volunteer Outfitters and everything that they've got going on over the course of the late summer into the fall, to include new store hours. I'll get to that just moments from now on during this conversation. Let me tell you, though, you got to get out there. Get out to to the Volunteer Outfitters outside of Nashville. Get out of the city. Get to Hendersonville. And you'll get just north of all these high prices down here. Whether it's Bandit or Drake or Huck or any name brand for your Volunteer Outfitter needs, you can find it at Volunteer Outfitters. And boy, oh boy, it is 100% value at Volunteer Outfitters. Plus, they've got game gear. They've got hunting gear for the fall. They've got school gear for the kids. They're closed on Sundays and closed on Mondays, but open until 5, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, till 6 on Friday, till 4 on Saturday. Get out and see them on New Shackle Island Road. Tell Tommy and the team that Matt Murphy sent you to Volunteer Outfitters. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Wellness Institute of Nashville. Friends, I put my seal of approval on this thing. As a matter of fact, I made the switch to Dr. Mitch. Why? Because I saw how they do their business. I know that I need spinal decompression in my life, and I know that they're right around the corner from my home and right near where you need them to be. And let me tell you something. If you are concerned about having to pop pills because of your pain, I understand that. I was concerned, too, with my lower back pain. If you're concerned about spinal injections or injections generally, or concerned about surgery, be concerned no longer. They can assist you with their non-surgical spinal decompression. It's simple. Come in and ask for the Big Daddy Trump special. That's $12 for a comprehensive examination, x-rays, a well-explained diagnosis, and a first treatment. And you will come back again and again because it is so good. The Wellness Institute of Nashville is at painisbad.com. That's painisbad.com, or call 615-246-5009, 246-5009 for the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
Metro Police trying to figure out how a 6-year-old boy was shot and killed over the weekend. We've got details on that and other top stories at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. That's coming up in just a couple of minutes. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Oh, yeah, I know. I know, and thank you for confirming what I know to be true. Many of you are writing in, some of whom have been some folks are hitting me up that are either currently very close or have been recently very close to this situation involving the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And let me tell you something. It's John Ingram. And I know many of you like the guy, and I don't know him. I've never met him. He's been invited on this show since I've been in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't have anything against Geodis Park. I don't have anything against the Nashville Soccer Club. But I have something against John Ingram, and it's what he has against the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And what I don't like most about this situation is you've got a multi-gajillionaire that's throwing rocks and hiding his hands, and then looking around going, what? I didn't do anything. I'm not doing anything. I don't mind the fairgrounds. Just stop lying to the people of this community and be honest. Tell us what city councilors you have control over. Tell us what you want out of this deal. Just be forthcoming with it, for goodness sake. Is this how you made all your money? Lying and cheating people? I'm not saying it is. I'm just asking a question. Just asking a question. These Metro councilors would rather watch this city burn to the ground than work with somebody that is conservative, or work with an organization that caters to conservative-minded people. And that's the perception of NASCAR, and that's why they don't want to do anything. That's why they refuse this $130 million gift to this city. And they turn it down, and it makes me want to throw up. Because here's what I know. Maybe not all of you, maybe not most of you, but many of you remember Opryland. And you never had a shot to stop that, did you? You wish you did, but you didn't. I hate the idea that 10 or 15 years from now, when that stupid thing's a parking lot or condos, half empty, I'd hate to think you're calling this radio show saying, man, I wish we'd have done something about that Fairground Speedway. Remember that Fairground Speedway? Well, that could have been something, huh? We could have had Nashville back in, or NASCAR back in the city of Nashville. Now's your shot. Now's your shot. What are you going to do with it? 31 after the hour on Super Talk.
.430 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. Right now in Nashville, Metro Police trying to figure out how a 6-year-old boy was shot and killed over the weekend. Channel 4's Brendan Tierney says both parents are in custody, but on separate charges.
The mother, Karen Argueta, is facing drug and gun charges, and the father, Freddie Martinez, had multiple warrants for things like burglary and domestic violence. Police are telling us that at this point, it looks like no one else was involved in this case. Detectives are working to figure out more information.
Yeah, police say the parents showed up at Southern Hills Medical Center Friday afternoon, stating their son had been shot by the brother. Then police found a stolen semi-automatic rifle and crystal meth in their car. They believe the shooting happened in a different county. Elsewhere in Tennessee, a hiker died from a snake bite in Savage Gulf State Park. First responders, including park rangers and emergency services, performed CPR on the victim, but that person ultimately died at the hospital, identified as a woman. Grundy County Emergency Management reported the death, reminds hikers to carry first aid supplies and be aware of wildlife. News that a Williamson County school being sued over a biological boy who identifies as a girl being allowed to attend a required 2-day girls-only sex ed class has reached Majority Leader of the Tennessee State Senate, Jack Johnson, who tells WTN's Nashville's Morning News with Dan Mandis the school may have violated state law.
I think that they were legally bound to prevent that biological boy from being in that class with biological girls, talking about things that are very sensitive in terms of sex education, family life, and that type of thing.
Reports say 13 girls opted out of the second day of the class because they were uncomfortable talking about personal issues with a boy in the classroom. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, Franklin Highway Patrol reporting a crash 65 southbound approaching I-840. Then in Robertson County, Highway Patrol reporting a crash 65 southbound past Gallatin Cross Plains, Highway 25, exit 112. And in Murfreesboro, TDOT's reporting the left lane is blocked by a crash 840 westbound past Jefferson Pike. Elsewhere on 24, this one in Montgomery County, Highway Patrol says there's a crash 24 eastbound near Rossview Road, Tennessee 237, exit 8. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. Matt Murphy here for Aaron Stokes and Eurofix. So, you've wondered when Eurofix is coming to Mount Juliet. Well, I've been telling you about the Mount Juliet store for some time now. I'm very excited about it. Eurofix has been in Middle Tennessee for a long time, and they've been growing since they started. You know, and Aaron Stokes started it in a barn in the backyard of his single-wide trailer, and they've now grown to, count them, 5 separate locations. 5 locations repairing thousands of cars every single month. That's right. You've got the, of course, the Franklin location, 100 Oaks, Murfreesboro, Belmead, and their latest in Mount Juliet, right across the street from the old Dairy Queen on South Mount Juliet Road. If you stop in, or no, that's just Mount Juliet Road. My apologies. Mount Juliet Road. I get in trouble when I mispronounce it or missay it. Mount Juliet Road. You can stop in at Dairy Queen, get yourself a dip cone while they're doing the 15-minute no-wrench inspection at Eurofix. Look, I understand that you appreciate this nationwide warranty. It's 3 years, and rental cars available with every repair appointment. 844-EUROFIX. That's 844-EUROFIX. MyEuroFix.com. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to Mount Juliet, to any of the other 4 locations. It's the one and only Eurofix. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You can join in the proceedings more directly. Dial us up, 615-737-9986, as Larry has done. We'll get to you momentarily, Larry. You can also hit us up on the Super Text line. It's the same number, 615-737-9986. You know, sometimes I fail to remind you, if you want to go over to the social media platform on the X machine, I am at Matt Murphy Show, at MattMurphyShow. It's a cesspool over there. Just awful. This is an awful place full of awful people saying awful things. And I absolutely love it. And I think you will too. At Matt Murphy Show. Give me the old follow over there. I would appreciate that very much. I'm trying to get to I'm just trying to get to a meager 20,000 followers by the end of the year. I don't think that's too much to ask.
What are you at?
18.2. 18.2, baby. Come on. One viral tweet. One viral X post. I should say something nasty. Something that'll really get me into trouble. See what happens. You know?
Didn't you do that a couple weeks ago?
I did. Got in trouble.
Did you get any followers?
Nah. No, I got a few. I didn't get into trouble, though. Nashville native here. I miss Opryland, and you're 100% on point regarding the Fairgrounds Speedway stuff. Also, it's North Mount Juliet Road. LOL. I know. I don't know. I'm on the other side. I'm on the south end. I'm on the Providence end, so I always get it wrong. I'm sorry. Can't help myself. Jason writes in and says, I would have thought Darrell Waltrip and Sterling Marlin would have led a charge to save that racetrack. Here's what I want you to do, young Jackson. If you want to make your name on this radio show with this radio host right here, I don't know why I'm pointing at myself like this right now. I'm a little bit out of it. If you want to make your name with this show, why don't you get Darrell Waltrip on? He lives in Franklin, right? Or somewhere around in those.
Any
parts.
leads on that?
Do you know who Darrell Waltrip is?
Race car driver.
Old DW.
Old DW, race car driver, announcer on Fox. Boogity, 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 boys. Let's go racing.
Did car dealership commercials.
Oh, yeah, sure. So, my lead is the internet is there. Get Darrell Waltrip on the show.
Don't you leave till you see old DW.
Is that what he used to say?
Yeah, that's what was on the old car commercials.
Oh, I bet he did say that.
That's good.
That is good.
Were either of y'all here when those were on the air?
Oh, yeah, I remember them.
Well,
you definitely weren't.
I was not.
No, Brother Murphy was not here for that.
What did he say, Jackson?
Don't you leave till you see old DW.
Let's see that.
I can't believe you don't remember. Oh, you weren't here.
No,
that makes more sense.
No. That's a lot of commitment, though. I mean, because at that point, if I go into Darrell Waltrip's dealership,
what if he's not there?
What if he's not there?
You can't leave until you come see.
I don't. I know that I've completed the purchase of my vehicle, but per your commercial, I'm not allowed to leave until I see old DW.
I've been stuck in this car dealership for 2 weeks while he's been on vacation.
Sterling Marlin, man, oh man, he was what a great gem in this community as well. I mean, Josh Berry, for that matter, from up in Hendersonville. I would think that these types of drivers, along with others, like Chase Elliott wants back here, Dale Earnhardt Jr. wants back here. They all love that track. That is old school NASCAR, and they'll do what is necessary. And once again, if you're not familiar, Bristol Motor Speedway Group, I think that Speedway Motorsports have put up a $130 million deal. It's on the table for all Nashville has to do is sign it. And Nashville's not on the hook for any of it. For any of it. All they have to do is sign it. It's just money on the table. Scott has written in. I think Scott speaks for a lot of old school Nashville folks. You know what Scott says, Jackson? Scott says, I bought a Honda from Darrell Waltrip, but he wasn't there. I left anyway.
You went ahead and left?
You went ahead and left. 5074 says, call Norm Parton. No, we've had Norm on the show many, many times. I love Norm. He's a good friend of mine.
Those commercials used to always come on during Saturday morning cartoons.
Did they?
Oh, yeah.
Don't you leave TCODW.
Trying to watch my Power Rangers when I was like 6.
If you don't see my star on your car, you better come see old DW. That was on one of his commercials, apparently. I'm being told. I'm just fascinated by the lack of motivated movement, whether it's Fairground Speedway, LPR's Fusus system, which seems like a no-brainer to me. So many other issues. And then the Boring Company, and that leads me to the digging that is going on at the Boring Company as we speak. In case you missed it, that digging is well, I have no idea.
What are we doing, Matt?
Maybe that's Miss Leia.
Maybe.
Answer it.
My phone is on silent, and that's what. Why does Facebook overtake my phone and override the silent feature on my phone?
Is that your ringtone?
No.
What is it?
No, it's Facebook. I have no idea why. It makes me want to throw it through a window. It honestly
Go
does.
for it. I'd
I'm
love
just
to see that.
A little bit in that. I'm a little bit in that kind of mood. No, I had a story pulled up from Facebook from a local television station. I think it was News Channel 5. They did a flyover of the dig site downtown near the state capitol. But of course, Facebook for some reason decided to go to that video where there's bluegrass players singing. One way or the other, there's already digging going on that site. They're waiting for nothing, y'all. Why would they? They've got permission from the state. They're ready to go, and they're not waiting on the city or anybody else to tell them what for. They're going toward it. They are moving forward with the dig. Despite what Representative Afton Bain has to say about it, they're making it happen. Come on. Let's get fired up about it. I've got an update for you in mere moments on Super Talk right after we talk with Larry. Hey, Larry.
Hey, brother. How you doing?
Hey, Larry, you feeling all right?
Hey, I'm still above the daisies, dude. That's all I can ask.
Well, I mean, that's pretty good, but, I mean, we're worried about you. You're one of my favorites. You know that.
Well, you're one of mine. But, well, and Brother Ken. I mean, you know, who can forget Brother Ken?
Thank you, Brother Larry.
Well, I mean, I love me some Brother Ken. But John Ingram is a total piece of bovine scatology, okay? He didn't work for his damn money. He got it from his dad. His dad started Ingram Barge Company, Ingram Publishing, and Ingram Entertainment. John Ingram owns Mayor Freddie Stupido and the entire damn city council. They're not going to do anything unless John tells them it's okay. And I can't say it on the radio. I've got a few words for John and for Freddie and for the city council. But that Speedway has been there forever. And it is always packed every Saturday night. People that live next to that Speedway make money by letting people park in their yards, and then they walk to the Speedway.
Well, there have been some neighbors that suggested. I was at the Fairgrounds board meeting where they approved the Bristol Motor Speedway contract and sent it to the council where it sits and languishes to this day. And that was, over a year ago? Over a year ago.
Yes, sir.
And I don't I have no idea what they're waiting on. But I listened to some of the concerns, and every single one of the neighborhood concerns were addressed that evening. As a matter of fact, if there are any concerns by the neighborhood around that Speedway, by the way, there's not a single human being on planet Earth that lives in that neighborhood that did not know they were moving into a neighborhood with a racetrack on it, right? Or a racetrack.
Exactly.
I mean, that racetrack's been there since 1904.
That was going to be my next point.
Right.
That was going to be my next point.
But every single
concern. If you don't want to live next to a racetrack, don't move there.
They race 9 weekends a year. That will be increased to 10. But the noise abatement that they are willing to put around that track will reduce noise levels by almost 50%. In other words, noise levels are going to go down by 50% on the weekends that they race, and it's 10 weekends a year. And yet the city council just sits on it. It's absolutely infuriating. They sit on just about everything. Larry, Thank you for your call. I got to scoot. I appreciate you, brother, and I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better for what it's worth. And then this news, and I'm just maybe in a nostalgic mood today, but I just saw this while I was searching for the lost Elon Musk Boring Company whole story. You know, I mentioned Snow White Drive-In in Lebanon the other day. I went for the first time, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. We went out and had burgers, and, it was delicious. It was absolutely fabulous. Old school. We were out there, just old school. Food's good. People, great. But this just got posted by Snow White, the drive-in. Due to a new local city ordinance passed on March 4th of this year, will no longer be permitted to display our nostalgic 1950s neon signs in our windows. We invite everyone to come by and capture one last photo with these iconic signs, whether with your classic cars, your family, both, just as you've done for decades. The signs will remain on display until the close of business Saturday, May 16th. We would like to express our heartfelt thanks to Tick Brian for taking the time to connect with us and thoughtfully discuss the changes that needed to be made. As always, we will continue serving our great meat and threes, burger baskets, famous soft serve ice cream, et cetera, et cetera. The way I understand it, the ordinance applies only to neon signs in windows. I understand maybe limiting such signs now that they don't pop up everywhere in the city, but it seems to me Snow White could have been grandfathered in to keep theirs. That's from Nick Burris. Now, I agree with him 100%. Why in the world wouldn't you grandfather Snow White into the system and allow them to keep their iconic neon signs that they've had since the 1950s? Doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. And that's in Lebanon, Tennessee. 10 minutes until the top of the hour. Claudia's got a thought on the Speedway. We'll get to you momentarily on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hang in. You know, there are just some things that you can't unsee. Like when you walk into the doors at Genesis Diamonds and you see the incredible selection of diamonds available to you at Genesis. You can't unsee it, folks. I mean, the sparkling nature of the diamonds present in each shop. There's one in Cool Springs and the other in Green Hills. I mean, it's absolutely fabulous. And you'll never forget the first time you walk in because you've never seen this many diamonds on display. From half carat to 20 carats, ovals, rounds, princess cut, emerald cut, heart-shaped, pear-shaped. You name it, they have it at Genesis Diamonds, and they have it for less money than the other guys. Why? They cut through the middleman pricing because they go and shop the diamonds themselves. They bring them back to their showrooms. They only pick 10 or 12 out of the 100 that they see, maybe not even that many on some occasions. Bottom line is this: they are your source for hand-picked GIA-certified diamonds at the guaranteed best price. Their sales folks do not work on commission, so you're never going to face any high-pressure sales tactics. As a matter of fact, they're just there to help you find the right diamond for you, whether it's birthday, anniversary, or just because there's only one Genesis. Go by and see them today. Green Hills and Cool Springs. Tell them Matt Murphy sent you to Genesis Diamonds.
Metro Police trying to figure out how a 6-year-old boy was shot and killed over the weekend. We've got the latest coming up at 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Thank you, Ken Weaver. 57 minutes after 4 right now. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I cannot find, Nick Barris posted about the Snow White Drive-In. I cannot find anything additional except, and Barris has a pretty good Facebook page that he operates. He's with, I guess, News Channel 5. So if you know anything in addition to what I just told you about the Snow White Drive-In, please let me know. I don't know if you know about this place. It's iconic. It's been there since, I don't know, certainly the 1960s. And they're saying that they have to shut down their interior neon for some reason or another. And it just, why in the world could you not? Why in the world could you not grandfather them in is beyond me. But maybe there's some more answers to this that I'm not aware of. Claudia is up about the Speedway. Hey, Claudia, how are you?
I'm good. I just think it's crazy that the Democrats here in Nashville are crazy. They don't want anything that's good for us. Oh, my gosh, that would be awesome to have the NASCAR race every other year. I said call Trump. He gets things done. He'll make sure it happens.
Man, I wish we could get Trump on top of it. He would get it done, Claudia.
He would. He would.
Well, it is a crying shame that something that is as no-brainer as this has been caught up with local politics. And I do believe that it has everything to do with the idea that the people that are on the Metro Council don't have any appreciation for the history of that Speedway and certainly don't have any love for what it means to this community. They don't really care what it means to the people that have experienced years and years of enjoyment out of the fairgrounds.
But the money it would bring in.
Yeah.
You know, we used to live in Indianapolis, and that 500, it brings in a lot of money for all of Indiana, not just the Speedway in Indianapolis area. They all get a part of it.
Well, I'm going to hold out hope that we can perhaps initiate enough attention on this issue that the Metro Council will finally act on it, or at least the mayor's office will present it to the Metro Council. Even if they vote it down, just present it. Make them vote on it. I don't know that they would vote it down if they had the opportunity, but, you know, maybe they're just that leftist. I don't know.
I don't know either. I think they're that leftist, though.
Yeah, I'm sad. I'm sad to agree with you, but I do. Thank you, Claudia, for the telephone call. Halfway home on the Matt Murphy Show this Tuesday edition. When we return, an update on the Boring Company, plus a commentary on the part of mainstream Democrat leftist in Washington, D.C. regarding a crackdown on crime up there. You will not believe it. They're worried about the criminals. They're worried about the D.C. police and their authority. What about the citizens that have been impacted by the crime? One crime is one crime too many, right? They don't seem to care about any of that. More to come right after the news, and the news happens now. Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Metro Police trying to figure out how a 6-year-old boy was shot and killed over the weekend. Channel 4's Brendan Tierney with the latest.
Police say that those parents showed up here at Southern Hills Medical Center on Friday afternoon with their 6-year-old son shot. They told officers at first that he was shot by his brother. Detectives don't think that's exactly what happened in the case. That boy did end up dying from his injuries, and police say they found a stolen semi-automatic rifle in the family's car, along with almost 7 grams of crystal meth. The parents stopped cooperating over the weekend, and detectives think that the shooting might have actually happened in a different county.
Yeah, the mother, Karen Argueta, is facing drug and gun charges. The father, Freddie Martinez, had multiple warrants for things like burglary and domestic violence, and police say it appears no one else was involved in this case. Right now in Middle Tennessee, southern Middle Tennessee, a hiker was killed by a rattlesnake bite. It happened Friday afternoon in the Savage Gulf State Park in Grundy County. First responders called around 12:30. They say they found the hiker about a half-mile down the trail. Medics performed CPR, even with a machine, but the victim died at the hospital. Grundy County Emergency Management recommends to have some kind of first aid supplies while enjoying outdoor recreational activities, and be mindful of wildlife and the dangers that some wildlife may pose. And we're learning new details involving the active shooter who killed 3 people outside of a Target store in Austin, Texas yesterday.
When he was arrested, police say 32-year-old Ethan Nynecker was naked and holding a Bible claiming to be Jesus. He allegedly got the gun he used to shoot and kill random victims in the Target parking lot from a family member. One of his victims was a 4-year-old girl. Austin's police chief saying he had known mental illness.
Where does someone with this capacity to do this get a weapon, and when does a family member feel comfortable giving someone with these issues a weapon?
Also killed was a 4-year-old's grandfather and a Target employee who was collecting carts in the parking lot. Alex Stone, ABC News.
And authorities in Atlanta giving more details about the suspected shooter who opened fire, killing a police officer at the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention last week near Emory University.
Over 500 shell casings have been recovered from the crime scene area. A total of 5 firearms, along with other evidence, has been recovered from the scene and will be submitted for further forensic testing. Close to 200 rounds impacted 6 of the CDC buildings.
Suspect may have been suffering from mental health issues. Police say authorities were called to his family's home weeks before the shooting. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, checking I-40 here. We've got a couple of problems. Right now, a crash reported by police westbound at Fessler's Lane. Look for 65. We've got northbound before Vietnam Veterans Boulevard, police reporting a crash. And then police reporting a crash 65 northbound at I-440. And in Antioch, got a crash on I-24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's 7 minutes after 5 o'clock. My name is Matt Murphy, and this is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. If you're just joining us, perhaps just getting in your automobile off work, congratulations. You made it through another day. We hope to get you home safe and sound and in good fashion, and maybe we'll make that drive home a little more tolerable. 615-737-9986 if you'd like to be a part of the show. 615-737-9986. You can either call us or hit us up on the super text line. Nincompoops in the news. That's part of that tolerability factor. It is on the way at 5:35 this afternoon in less than 30 minutes. Excited about that. We'll tell you all about Adam Schiff coming up in a couple of minutes. The Democrats apparently are pro-crime in Washington, D.C. That's on the way as well. Bill Lee has some thoughts on SNAP benefits. We used to call that food stamps when I was a kid back in the day. We don't call it food stamps anymore. I have more on that on the way as well on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. But right now, Elon Musk. So you may have seen there are aerial shots of this parking area near the state capitol. I was down at the state capitol last Friday, and I saw some of the construction with my own eyeballs. And we saw some of the activity going on surface level with regard to Elon Musk and the Boring Company. And they have a staging area. That is going to be one entry point for the tunnel that will be Tesla exclusive, and it will be. I don't know how to describe it. Your Tesla can't go. It'll be tunnel only Teslas driven by drivers employed by the Boring Company. You'll pay a fee. We don't really know what that fee will be as of yet, although we've got an indication. I think Las Vegas, they're doing like $10 loop days or whatever, where you can get on and off for $10 a day or whatever it might be. But this route will be specifically between the state capitol drop-off and B&A Airport, although there is a suggestion that they're going to have one stop at possibly at Music City Center. I know the Boring Company folks have spoken to the Music City Center, and they have indicated that it would be a great benefit to Music City Center. I mean, that's where a lot of the conventions are, a lot of hotels around Music City Center. Why would you not want to drop off right there? But there can be more. I mean, if private industry or private business wants to get involved in this, they may. Elon Musk's The Boring Company answered a few questions that the mayor had about this issue. I spoke with the mayor about this last night during our beer summit. And he said, look, I'm not anti-tunnel. I don't look at it as the end-all, be-all that some are suggesting it might be, and I've got some concerns, safety and otherwise. Well, some of those concerns have been answered. The August 10th announcement marks the first publicly available deep dive into the Nashville Tunnel project from the company itself, providing insight from engineering details to potential city partnerships. According to the Tennessean, the company wrote, TBC, the Boring Company, is committed to maximum transparency on this project and is open to ideas. I have put out a call to their press people, and we're going to try to get them on the show to answer some of our questions as well. The company offered a Nashville-specific email, nashville@boringcompany.com, for questions and asked representatives from local organizations and schools to reach out. The Boring Company also plans to host numerous community events as well as meetings to engage those interested in learning more. Music City Loop will be a cutting-edge, zero-emission underground transit system connecting downtown Nashville, Music City Center to Nashville International Airport, the company said. So apparently, is that a done deal with Music City Center? I guess it is. If they're including this in their press release. Of course, Nashville was chosen because it's one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the company said. Music City's traffic congestion, large tourism, industry, workforce, economic momentum, and the 2024 voter-approved transit referendum also contributed to the decision. So they've now announced the proposed 9.5-mile tunnel route. It would stretch from the Tennessee State Capitol, that's kind of where they're launching from, down 8th Avenue South, following Highway 41, which turns into Murfreesboro Pike. It goes all the way down Murfreesboro Pike until it takes a left right below Donaldson Pike, and then it reaches the Nashville International Airport, B&A there. Music City Loop connects the airport with the Tennessee State Capitol. A stop at Music City Center also expected as the Convention Center Authority prepares to approve that. The company could add a third station on the bottom level of the parking garage there. Passengers would purchase tickets online, including with a QR code available at stations. Wait times would be, quote, 0 to minimal. There are plans for 2 twin tunnels running side by side to and from the Nashville International Airport. While the Boring Company's Nashville Tunnel project is in the design phase, construction's already begun, and we've already seen a hole emerge from the Tennessee Capitol parking lot. State Capitol Building Commission approved July 31st a rent-free lease of the parking parcel to launch the tunnel boring machine. The company wrote that it will work to establish at least 3 additional launch sites along the route. Will it be safe? Obviously, a question on everyone's lips. Music City Loop will not pose electrical risk like a subway third rail, the company said. The tunnel will include fire suppression and ventilation systems. The track will be designed to meet or exceed National Fire Protection Association's fire and life safety standards. Loop drivers will undergo, quote, extensive initial and ongoing training, including joint drills conducted directly with fire and police departments. The tunnel will also implement dedicated emergency response capabilities and a communication system exclusively for first responders, according to the Boring Company. Tunnels are equipped, the company stated, with direct 24/7 communication staffed by operations control via blue light station, LTE cell service, and secured Wi-Fi links, as well as emergency communication systems tailored for police and fire departments. In Las Vegas, first responders use ATVs inside of the Vegas Loop, and it's expected that they perhaps will use the same here. Unclear whether the Metro Nashville Police Department or the Tennessee Highway Patrol will carry the responsibility for responding to any sort of traffic incident. The Boring Company operates a research and development tunnel along a Hyperloop test track in Texas. And in California, it maintains 2 additional research and development tunnels. And in Dubai, it is engineering a 10.6-mile tunnel system designed to push the boundaries of high-speed underground transport. And obviously, for most of you, you already know that unlike this is not a traditional transportation system, you can't take your car down there. It will not rely on larger vehicles to carry passengers. It will use Teslas only to ensure a private and comfortable traveling experience. Unless passengers choose to share a vehicle with others, parties of up to 5 people will be able to ride directly to their destination without stopping at stations along the way. While the tunnels aim to reduce travel time from station to destination, the Boring Company said during high travel times, a Tesla might not be the best option. There are some scenarios, such as to a stadium on game days, where a higher occupancy vehicle might be used. Now, that's the first time I've heard that they might be willing to consider something of a larger capacity. Tesla Model Ys and Xs will primarily move travelers through the tunnels. They will recharge at the Boring Station Maintenance Center, which will be positioned along the tunnel. By linking the tunnel directly to these centers, the company said the vehicles will never travel on public roadways. Wow. Tesla Models X and Y make up the fleet. They will reach speeds of 70 miles an hour. Boring Company says that they will ultimately expand the Music City Loop to make it fully autonomous as a transit system. In other words, the cars will drive themselves. And then so all of these are questions being asked by the Boring Company that the Boring Company is answering. Many of these questions came directly from the mayor himself. While the Vegas Loop operates almost exclusively below the water table, the Boring Company tunnels are sealed with segment joints and 3-inch thick grout throughout the tunnel. According to the Boring Company, the stations themselves are the only place that water can enter the tunnel. Those weaknesses are mitigated with elevated barriers and drains with pumps. If water does enter the system, the tunnels have redundant high-power sump pumps to exit any water, the company wrote. And in the unlikely event that the tunnels do experience large amounts of water, it does not present an electrical hazard as it would with a subway or train system with an electrified third rail. In other words, they would simply, I suppose, that during those times, park the vehicles or get the vehicles out of the tunnel and wait until the sump pumps would pump the water out of the tunnels. The tunnels could be inoperable during any sort of time where there's too much water that enters the tunnel. I'm projecting a little bit on this, but that's my supposition. In response to why similar proposed tunnel projects like the one in Chicago did not move forward, the boring company said it, quote, regularly engages with cities around the world to find the best fit for its next project. I'll tell you why. And a lot of people like Afton Bain and others have gone, well, they never came through in Chicago. They never came through in Philadelphia. They never came through. That's because those cities refused to participate in the company's efforts. And oh, by the way, if it were left up to the city of Nashville, none of this would be happening to begin with. It is not the end-all, be-all. No one suggests that. Is your humble host a little excited about it? Sure. I mean, I am. I admit it. It feels like science fiction. And I'm proud to call a city home that's willing, well, the city wasn't, the state is. I'm proud to call this state home that's willing to do the next great thing, to be on the cutting edge of the next great thing. I know that there are plenty of naysayers. It's always going to be haters. That's what haters do. Haters are going to hate. But I love the idea that this is A, no cost to the taxpaying citizen, and B, it is on the cutting edge of this type of technology that can prove that there is a new and better way, yes, a private way to get from point A to point B without depending on the government. Angela is next up with a thought on the Speedway. Hello, Angela.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well.
My thought is, how do we get the Historical Society involved in preserving the Speedway?
Oh, boy, that's a good question.
Based on the information that I read, it does have it's a legendary venue, and it had many, really NASCAR Cup racers, legendary drivers like Richard Petty and Dale Earnhardt that actually raced there. So do you know how the people of Nashville could get the Historical Society involved?
You know, I don't, but I know that I can find out who does, and I will do that for you, Angela, because that's a great question. One would think that I fear that it will take a vote of the Metro Council, sadly, on something like that, but I'll get the bottom line answer on how that could happen. But, you know, I mean, you talk about the race car drivers like Darrell Waltrip and Cale Yarborough and Richard Petty and Pearson and Bill Elliott and all these others. I mean, I've heard stories about like Marty Robbins. I don't know if you know the country music singer Marty Robbins.
No, I don't.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Well, that's okay. He raced out there, and as the story went, and Angela, thank you for the call. As the story went, Marty Robbins was racing like in I think it was called the Nashville 420, and he raced out there and had to leave early to get to the Grand Ole Opry to sing at the Grand Ole Opry. I believe that's a true story. If it's not, it should be. 21 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Washington, D.C. Apparently politicians there like their crime. We'll get into that next. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Premier Generators. You know, Premier Generators, your one-stop shop for all things Generac generators in our community. Folks, you need a home generator at your house. You just do. You need a home generator protecting you from the event of a power outage. And these things happen more often than you think. I mean, well, just think about the amount of times that the power has gone out over the last year or two. What if you had a home generator You wouldn't have to worry about any of that. It's easy to install a home generator, more straightforward than most people think. Premier Generators takes care of everything from design to permitting to installation. You don't have to stress about any of those details. You don't have to worry about it. There's no guesswork. And with a free 10-year warranty, it's a no-brainer. Call today at Premier Generators for an appointment so you can be power outage ready. That is what it's all about. Call Sean or one of his team members at 855-797-4766. That's 1-855-POWER-IS-ON. That's PWR. PWR is on. Power is on. That's 855-797-4766 or premiergenerators.com.
Right now in Middle Tennessee, an 18-year-old's body found in the Duck River in Columbia. This story and more at 5:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Many of you confirming that, yes, it was a true story. Marty Robbins, the great country music singer. Hey, Young Jackson, I got a crisp $20 bill if you can hum or sing a Marty Robbins tune right now.
Cannot do that. My parents could.
Devil Woman. El Paso City.
I'm sure I've heard it.
Have you now?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool, clear water.
Water. Oh, yeah.
Brother Jackson's probably just thinking, what am I doing with these relics?
He's too old. Farts.
Ken, I prefer the term fossils.
Good. Down in the West Texas town of El Paso.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that.
Girl.
That's Marty Robbins?
Gave it a whirl. Yeah, that's Marty Robbins.
He had a rock and roll hit, too. White sport coat.
And that wasn't White Sport Coat and a Pink Carnation, was it?
I believe it was.
I believe it was. Oh, we used to play that on WTWA. Your favorite easy listening hits from the 40s to the 80s.
What did y'all play on WBBQ?
WBBQ was a rock and roll station, Jackson.
Yes, sir.
That was all rock and all roll, baby. And your local mobile news. At the top of the hour are When It Breaks.
Is that the one where you got yelled at for getting the temperature wrong?
PWC. No, I got the PWC wrong. Present weather conditions. I said it was partly sunny and it was partly cloudy. And I got in trouble by George Weiss, who's dead now. Anyway.
You win.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I win. I'm just, he was 86. Matt is next in Nashville. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going? I heard the lady before saying that she would recommend going to like the Historical Society. For everything I know about that is you're going to get stalled on every level. They're going to try and match finishes and do a bunch of crap. And that's the worst idea, to try to do it that way. I mean, no investor, nobody, you want to get it stalled out, nobody's going to want to do that. It's just going to turn into rubble. So don't get twisted with that if you think that's the solution.
Well, I'm looking for any ideas about what the solution might be to break the stranglehold that John Ingram currently has, sadly, over the Metro Council and the decision-making process. So, I understand that, there might be a lot of pitfalls and snags there. And my concern when I initially heard it was, well, that's probably going to have to go through the same organization that won't just go ahead and make the decision to do the revitalization in the first place,
I mean, if you look right down there, the only development they've done is that parcel, I think it's 8C. And it's basically the one that's like tucked in right behind the stadium and the Speedway, and just so that they couldn't like hinder development.
Is that the condos?
Yeah, the condos that are tucked in that was the one piece of that was like the main contentious point, at least from my understanding, about how that developed, and that's the only thing they've done anything on. So pretty much they were like, we put our flag down, you can't knock us over, you can't move. And I think that they've stalled from there because there's been no other development and turning that into any kind of like ballpark, city, or fan fest area.
Right. So it's my understanding that Ingram needed those condominiums because otherwise Geodis Park would not earn enough money to get a return on that investment. Right. So
now, that makes total sense.
He had to have those condominiums to do that. And he promised that he would let the Speedway exist as it does because it's a part of the Metro charter that there has to be racing on that plot of land. But it was also a part of the charter that there needed to be a fair on that part of land, and they removed that. There's an effort on John Ingram's part, it's my understanding, to remove racing from the charter so he can seize the rest of that property. And that is what I am steadfastly against. In the meantime, and I'm certain you're aware of this, Matt, you've got the $130 million revitalization plan that would cost the city no money. It would be fully funded. Bristol Motor Speedway is willing to enter into a 30-year lease with the city, and they would fund all of the revitalization on their own and recoup the money from, racing events. Hopefully they do it.
I love it.
Hopefully they do it. Yeah, man. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. No, good talk, good conversation. Tony, we'll get to you in a moment. We'll also get an income boost right after this on Super Talk.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. And an 18-year-old's body has been found in the Duck River in Columbia. Police trying to figure out what happened. Here's Channel 4's Amber Giant.
That's right. Well, right now, police are not giving us a lot of information. The name of the 18-year-old male still has not been released at this point. But we're told that police officers were called to this area around 9:30 this morning. We're here on Highway 31. After reports, they came here of a report of a body that was found here.
Yeah, police say they have notified the family. They're not releasing the identity yet. A hiker died from a snake bite in Savage Gulf State Park in Grundy County on Friday. First responders say they got the call around 12:30 and found the hiker about a half mile down the trail suffering from a rattlesnake bite. They performed CPR manually and with a machine, but the victim died at the hospital. Channel 4 says neighbors of the parents whose 6-year-old son died of a gunshot wound on Friday can't believe what has happened.
Never suspected anything like that. I mean, just prayers to, for the 6-year-old, the extended family. Like, it's so sad,
Well, police arrested the boy's parents, but on different charges. They say they found a semi-automatic rifle reported stolen out of Murfreesboro and 7 grams of crystal meth in the vehicle the mother, 28-year-old Karen Argueta, was driving. And the father, Freddie Martinez, had multiple warrants for things like burglary and domestic violence. Ford is recalling more than 100,000 F-150 pickups.
Ford is recalling 2023 to 2025 F-150s equipped with a trailer tow max duty package because of the possibility of a vehicle rolling away on its own or a loss of drive power. A rear axle hub bolt might fatigue and break, allowing the truck to roll away while it's in park, or a loss of power while it's being driven. Ford indicates there are no known accidents or injuries from the issue. Alex Stone, ABC News.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, still got that crash 40 westbound at Fessler's Lane. Berry Hill, a crash blocking the Gore 65 northbound at I-440. Then in Franklin, Highway Patrol reporting 2 separate crashes, 65 southbound approaching I-840 at the Eastern Split. Police report a crash 24 westbound at I-40 exit 52A and B. And then in Antioch, police reporting a crash 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I absolutely love the family that is the Matt Murphy Show listening audience on Supertalk 99.7 WTN. Some of the responses that we have gotten to the mere mention of Marty Robbins delights my heart. 7644 says, my husband was named after Marty Robbins.
Ah, yeah.
And a number of you have indicated that, Ken, you and I have failed in the listening audience's eyes because we have not mentioned Big Iron yet. With a big iron on his hip.
With a big iron on his hip. Yeah. My dad got me his album, Gunfighter Ballads and Trail Songs. And that was one of my favorite albums of all time. And I lost it. And I'm really mad about it.
No, it's not good. That's not good. We got to find that. Got to find that album. Also, there's some question as to whether or not you and I are accurate in our assessment that Marty was a singer of this little number. He was not the original singer, and I'll give that to one of our listeners. This is
yeah.
This is when music was good, Jackson.
Jackson. Yes, sir.
Also, someone suggested I sounded like Kermit the Frog. I didn't appreciate that. Cool, clear water. Now, Marty was not the original artist on that song. The original artists were, as noted by one of our loyal listeners, these guys. Hold on. Oh, I think I... hold on. Anyway. Got to shut Marty up first. The original was the Sons of the Pioneers.
Yes, sir.
This was not the best version of the song, in my opinion. A little peppier version, though.
Love it. Love it.
Welcome to Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We're slinging the hits on the afternoon hours. Matt Murphy is your humble host.
Kermit the Frog here.
I could probably do a pretty good Kermit.
That was Kermit.
I like El Paso.
Kermit the Frog here.
Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog here.
Here's El Paso City. Marty Robbins.
That's pretty damn good. Can we go home? Is it time to go home yet? No.
Got an hour and a half
left. I don't think it's time to go home. It's 41 after 5 o'clock. You know what time that makes it?
What time is it?
It's time for Nincompoops in the News.
Oh, I've got news about this too, boys.
Nincompoops in the news.
What do you got there, Kid Weaver?
Sad news.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
The actress who played Roger's little sister, Dee.
Oh, I saw this.
Passed away today at the age of 60.
Yeah, way too young.
Yes, sir.
The little D on she was known as Dr. D, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But was her name D on the show?
It was D on the show, yeah.
Little sister of Raj died at the age of 60. Do you know what she did in her adult life, Ken?
I do not.
She was a veterinarian.
Really?
Yeah. I saw that earlier today.
Danielle Spencer was her name.
And she passed away. She fought a battle with cancer.
Yes, sir.
And passed away at the age of 60. Well, that's sad news.
It was. She was always going to tell Mama on Raj.
Oh, no doubt.
And Mama didn't play around.
Mama didn't play on what's happened.
How does this relate to Nincompoops?
Because the theme song to Nincompoops in the News is the theme from the fabulous 1970s television show What's Happening. And Raj was a character on that show, and Raj's little sister was Dee, and Dee's was played by that woman that Ken just mentioned. I forget her name.
Danielle Spencer.
Danielle Spencer, and she just passed away.
Oh, R.I.P.
So there's a little bit of connective tissue. I won yesterday, I believe. And
Way to go, Brother Murphy.
And I get to go first. Redmond, Washington. Mine's short, simple, and sweet. But I think it illustrates everything that we want in a nincompoop in the news. This man was not trying to harm anyone else. He was not trying to rob from others. He was not trying to show his wares at the local park, if you know what I'm saying. Or he had no cattail or feline appendage coming out of the rear end. No, just a man who wanted his keys and his phone. So he was arrested Friday in Redmond, Washington, after he broke into Luke's Automotive because he needed his phone. And Luke's was closed. According to the Redmond Police Department, the break-in happened around 1:30 in the afternoon. 1:30 in the afternoon, when a neighboring business employee reported seeing a person throw a large rock through the front door of Luke's Automotive. The automotive shop was closed and unoccupied located on Northeast 90th Street. Redmond Police Department responded to the scene, surrounded the building, and instructed that whomever was inside of the building needed to exit. The individual complied and was detained without incident. He exited through the back of the business. When questioned as to why he broke into the business, he said that his car was in there and he left his phone inside of his car and he needed his phone. Now, I say to you, who among us has not lost our phone in some form or fashion, and who has been desperate to get said phone? He among you that is without sin cast the first stone through the front door of Luke's Automotive. Oh, you got to get your phone. You got to do what you got to do. Got to have your phone. Got to have your social medias.
But he couldn't get a hold of anybody.
I don't guess he could get a hold of old Luke. Luke's probably out of town doing something on the weekend. That's my nincompoop. That's it.
I say he broke in and claimed he left his phone in there.
So you don't believe him?
I don't believe him.
You think he was just trying to get
I think he was trying to get in there and get some stuff.
Oh, well, maybe so. One way or the other, he has been apprehended, and he is most decidedly a nincompoop. Jackson, would you like to go?
I'm going to let Brother Weaver go because I think I'm going to upset old Brother Weaver with my nincompoop today.
You think you got a victory coming? Is that what you're claiming?
No, I think he's just going to be upset about who I chose for my nincompoop.
Son of a biscuit eater, I know who he's talking about, too.
Uh-oh.
But anyway, I'll go ahead with mine.
All right.
Now, you boys tell me if we've already done this, okay?
All right.
All right. This happened August 10th of 2025. The arrest of Kip Polston in Madison County, Nebraska. It involves several unusual circumstances. Traffic stop and nudity. A traffic stop was initiated on Highway 81 due to defective trailer lights. The driver, Kip Polston, was found to be completely naked. Polston claimed he was naked because he was, quote, hot and allergic to his own sweat.
What?
He said he was hot and I'm allergic to my own sweat, Ossifer. Polston's driver's license was suspended, leading to his initial arrest for driving under suspension. A search of the vehicle uncovered THC concentrate, a marijuana water pipe, and a BB gun.
That'll get you off your sweat. A BB gun?
Yeah, a BB gun.
Yeah.
Looking for woodpeckers. One of the motorcycles being towed was reported stolen. Polston resisted arrest when being placed in the patrol vehicle. He was transported to the Madison County Jail, faces multiple charges. The investigation's ongoing.
So this reminds me quite a bit of, you ever see the movie Real Genius? Where the line in Real Genius, where is this like the time I caught you naked with a bowl of Jell-O? I was hot and I was hungry. So I was hot and I'm allergic to my own sweat.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do, Ossifer, as Ken said?
I was just trying to cool off.
Don't you make me yank my BB gun on you, Ossifer. Get you. Bing. Right there in your chest. Man. I mean, what kind of country do we live in if you can't drive down the road
completely naked?
In your own automobile, completely naked.
You know, what if you get in an accident?
Well, I mean, you're naked.
I just think you should wear clothes to drive.
I think it's fair. It's a fair request by civilized society, Jackson, and one that apparently can't be handled in the middle of our country, namely Nebraska. Mr. Jackson, go ahead and tick Ken Weaver off. Go.
All right, we're going Norman, Oklahoma with this one as Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer denies college football gambling amid suspicious screenshots, calls them inside jokes.
Oh, no.
New Oklahoma quarterback John Mateer has found
What?
himself in the midst of a controversy as screenshots of questionable Venmo transactions surfaced this week on social media. The pictures show Mateer paying someone in 2022 with the description of the transaction being sports gambling, UCLA versus USC. The 2022 season marked Mateer's first year with Washington State, meaning he was not allowed to gamble on college football. Mateer's Venmo activity has been removed or made private. ESPN's Pete Thamel reports that Oklahoma officials are aware of Mateer's alleged Venmo activity, but the quarterback has consistently denied ever being involved with gambling.
I believe him.
On Tuesday, Mateer posted a statement on social media claiming the Venmo descriptions were just jokes. The allegations that I once participated in sports gambling are false. My previous Venmo descriptions did not accurately portray the transactions in question, but were instead inside jokes between me and my friends. I have never bet on sports. I understand the seriousness of the matter, but I recognize that taken out of context, those Venmo descriptions suggest otherwise. I can assure my teammates, coaches, and officials at the NCAA that I have not engaged in any sports gambling.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Mateer was 247 Sports' #1 transfer portal prospect and Oklahoma's key offseason addition as he elected to leave Pullman, Washington for Norman, along with offensive coordinator Ben Arbuckle. Last season for the Cougars, completed 64% of his passes for over 3,000 yards and 29 touchdowns.
2637 says the look on Weaver's face.
We can't have good things. Well, that's what's going on.
We get some nice things in Norman, and look what happens.
Yeah, it's like last season we had a couple of 6'3", 6'4" wide receivers, and they were hurt the entire season.
Well, you didn't have anybody to throw to him.
I'm gonna have to call Jackson out on this. I feel like this is a reach just to hurt your brother.
Oh, you Venmo somebody sports gambling when you're a prominent college football quarterback? You are a nincompoop.
Well,
you're an idiot.
And here's the thing. I got to agree with Brother Jackson. What? You don't even joke about that.
Here's my big thing with it. So Venmo default is a private transaction. That means he had to click the public button, type sports gambling, UCLA versus USC, and decide that people could see that.
Am I the only one? These are just jokes. We're just funning. It's off-season joshing.
Either he's gambling or he's an idiot.
Well, he might be both.
It's not a good refuge when you have to pray for idiot, right?
Well, when you have to pray that he's
just a moron.
That what he thought was a joke is actually stupidity. You don't.
So, Jackson, as our resident sports expert, what's the worst?
What can happen?
What can happen to him?
He would be expelled from the sport.
Son of a biscuity.
What?
Yeah, if you gamble, you're done. He would be ineligible.
And this is from last season?
2022.
Sheesh, Manelli.
Can they prove it?
I doubt it, so I don't think that's going to happen. But if they prove it, if they prove it, he's cooked.
I don't think they're proving any of that. We're just having fun. It's 51 after the hour. There it is. There's Nincompoops. Vote early, vote often. 615-737-9986. Hey, it's the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Friends, neighbors, if you have a loved one in your life, male loved one in your life, that is experiencing energy loss, if you have a relationship with a significant other and the intimacy has gone out of your relationship and you're not sure why, or if you're the individual that you recognize there's something going on and you're not sure what, Friends, you've got to get to the Tennessee Men's Clinic. It's a simple necessity. Don't trust these online websites. Don't trust these online sources where they don't sit down with you. They don't diagnose you directly, ask a few questions, and send you some pills. You don't even know if those pills are going to work. It's time to get with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Sit down with one of their qualified urologists. An examination is forthcoming, and they're going to get results the same day and set you on a path of success. Get back in the game, men, with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. There's 2 locations that serve you. One is the original in Midtown, the other in Cool Springs for the last several years. Let's get with it. Let's get with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Online, TennesseeMen'sClinic.com. Or better yet, make the call. Make the appointment. 615-208-9090, 208-9090.
Police are investigating after the body of an 18-year-old from Columbia was recovered from the Duck River today. We'll tell you more at 6 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
22-30-13 says the only thing that would have made Jackson's story better is what's the kid's name? What's the quarterback's name?
John Mateer.
The only thing that would have made Jackson's story better is if John Mateer was drunk and naked when he placed the bet.
He was a freshman in college at the time. It's beyond possible.
Who knows? He might have been.
3042 says, I just want to tell you guys, watching y'all on YouTube reminds me of going back and watching an episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. That might be the nicest thing
that
anyone's ever said about this radio show.
They had the turkey episode, right?
As God is my witness.
My favorite episode was that wrestler.
Oh, it's good.
I'm telling you, man, that little Reverend Little Ed Pembroke and the Sisters of Mercy.
Jackson, I will buy those DVDs somewhere if you promise to watch the episode.
I think they're all on streaming, but
well, thank you, Jackson, for making me feel old. I was offering you something nice, and you're like, "Hey, old timer, simmer down there." You know,
Jackson, I think they still come on TV around 10:30. What you do is you get your rabbit ears and you cover them in foil.
That's exactly right, and you can pick it up.
I'll watch it while I put the toilet paper in my hair.
I forget what episode it was, but the look that Les Nessman gives Johnny Fever.
Yeah.
When he's doing the newscasting. In sports news, Chai Tri Rodriguez is behind the 8-ball in the golf tournament. He is 9 under par. And Johnny Fever stops him, says, Les, Chi Rodriguez. And he gives him this look and says, let's hope Chai can get it up to par the next time he plays. And it's so good because he's wrong, but he's so confident. Jackson, you won.
And then he goes, Mr. Rodriguez.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I would like
Mr.
to thank
Rodriguez.
the entire Oklahoma football team for my nincompoops victory today.
You know, half of your votes for you are basically votes for Ken because they're voting on the look that Ken gave when you started your story.
I looked over at Ken. I almost fell out of my chair.
Ken said, we can't have anything nice.
We can't. We can't have good things.
Wow.
He had a death grip on the console.
I'll tell you what's a good thing. A good thing is Ken Weaver's Newscast, and it's coming up right now, just past 6 o'clock on Super Talk 99.7. You're listening to WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. And right now in Middle Tennessee, Metro Police, police in Murray County are investigating after the body of an 18-year-old male from Columbia was recovered from the Duck River near the Highway 31 bridge in Columbia. Channel 4 talked to a fisherman who says this isn't the first time a body has been found in the river there.
They kayak a lot down through here. They let the kayaks out right down here, and they go downstream. Go different ways. Whole lot of kayaking go on down here.
Would you say it's dangerous on the water at all?
I would say a little bit. When the kids out there on them kayaks, it is for the kids, I would say. But the grown-ups, it's okay for them.
Is the water typically calm? Does it get rushy?
Yeah, it's real calm now. That's why I don't understand why they found the body, because the river's not high at all. It's really low right now.
Police have not publicly released the identity of the deceased, but his family has been notified. Officials in Grundy County say a hiker died after getting bit by a rattlesnake. Happened Friday at the Savage Gulf State Park. First responders said they got a call around 12:30. They found the victim a half-mile down the trail. They performed CPR, but the hiker died at the hospital. Grundy County Emergency Management recommends to have some kind of first aid supplies while enjoying outdoor recreational activities and to be mindful of wildlife and what can happen. Right now in Nashville, police are currently searching for 2 suspects involved in a shootout with a clerk at a tobacco store in the corner of Bell Road and Murfreesboro Pike last night. Channel 4's Joylyn Bukovac was on the scene.
Metro police say 2 men with their faces partially covered walked inside, got into a fight with an employee, and then started shooting. Right now, police say they are not sure of a motive yet, but within minutes, that fight moved outside and even more shots were fired between the worker and the suspects. The employee was shot in the stomach and then rushed to the hospital. His injuries are not believed to be life-threatening.
Yeah, the suspects fled the scene in a vehicle, which detectives are working to identify. And that's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. Berry Hill got a crash blocking the Gore, 65 northbound at I-440. And in Franklin, 65 southbound approaching I-840. Highway Patrol says there's 2 separate crashes there. Eastern Split, a crash, 24 westbound right there at exit 52A and B. And then in Antioch, Metro Police say there's a crash, 24 eastbound at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Traffic every 10 minutes every morning on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I have an update on this Texas lawmaker saga. The Democrats making heinies out of themselves as they fled the state in an attempt to stymie the Republican majority and their redrawing of district maps efforts. We have a big-time update for you tonight on that front coming up in just a couple of minutes on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Tony's held on regarding a NASCAR discussion that we were having earlier, Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. We got line 2 as well calling in. You can call 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. 9986. You can also hit us up on the super text line where Young Jackson, with a capable assist from Ken Weaver, has come out victorious in nincompoops in the news. We had someone telling us that watching us on YouTube was so great because it was just like a episode of WKRP in Cincinnati. Well, there are other viewpoints that are not as complimentary. For example, 3560 writes in and says, seeing y'all on video ruined the magic of your voices for me. LOL. Like Ken. Ken does not look like his voice sounds. I expected a red-headed, bearded ginger that wore a bow tie every day with how excellent his voice sounded. LOL. So I don't even know what to do with all of that.
A bearded ginger.
With a bow tie.
With a bow tie.
Ken, dye your hair red and wear a bow tie tomorrow.
Ken, when's the last time you wore a tie?
Probably 2016 or 2017.
Wow. That's a minute or two. I'm going to do my dead level best to never wear a tie again. I'll be honest with you.
I actually thought about thought about wearing slacks and shirts and ties again.
Really?
Yeah.
Just because?
Just to do it.
Why would you do it, Ken?
I don't know. I just thought.
There's something,
maybe I should do that now.
I wish I could say wearing a jacket makes me a better talk show host, but today is a poor example.
I feel like we've had a good show.
Of that proof. I feel like, it's been okay. I'll tell you what, how about some words of wisdom from Matt? You want some words of wisdom?
Yes,
Here's my daily words of wisdom from me to you. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Being a vegan is kind of like communism. They're both fine if you don't like food. Being a vegan is kind of like communism. They're both fine if you don't like food. Words of wisdom from Cousin Matt. Thank you. On Super Talk 99.7 WTN. It's time for Tony. Hey, Tony, what's up?
I was out there that night that Marty Robbins was racing, and he left there and went straight to the Grand Ole Opry.
Were you?
And he was one of the first men that raced out there. It had a 426 Hemi, and he had a Dodge. I think it was a 62 Dodge, and it was painted maroon and yellow, and his number was 711.
Wow. About what year was that? Do you remember, Tony?
Yeah, I'm saying it was probably the late 60s.
Okay.
Because I was born and raised in a racing family. I had three uncles that raced out there at the same time, and one of them got killed out there in 1960, and I was also out there the night that Charlie Binkley got killed. And but yeah, I had three uncles that raced 96, 97, and 98 out there in the early model cars.
Man, I wish we could see some of that type of racing out there again. I've seen some of the great images, and you were probably a part of this era, Tony, where, I mean, they didn't have these fancy pit setups like they do nowadays. They just they had the gas cans just laying in the grass, and they were just sitting there waiting on them to come into the pits. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, and they just pulled them in on a trailer, and what you brought is what you raced. And if you broke down, there wasn't nothing fixing it. You either stayed there and watched the race, or you went home.
That's pretty cool. You were out there the night that Marty had to get out of there and get to the Grand Ole Opry. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah, my uncle, he died in 1960 there, and he went around the back corner, and they're saying he was doing about 70 miles an hour, and he hit the guardrail head on, and the battery then was just sitting in the floorboard behind the driver's seat, and it come up and hit him in the back of the head, and it killed him.
Oh.
So NASCAR had it where you had to anchor the battery down in the floorboard, and then it kept moving it over and over, and now it's where it's at now.
Wait, you said that was your father?
My uncle.
Oh, your uncle. Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And then Charlie Binkley, it was, I think, about 1970 when he hit a telephone pole on the back side of the racetrack, and it killed him that night too.
Wow. I mean, back in those days, racing, I mean, there's no question it was dangerous. I mean, obviously, as you're testifying to. Boy, oh boy, Tony.
Yeah. Man, and Cuckoo Marlin, he his number was 777,
mm-hmm.
and then Darrell Waltrip's, his was 28.
Was that? I mean, that was during a time where you kind of just had a thought. You could number your car anything you wanted to.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, if there was like a 13, then you could number it 13A or 13B or something like that.
Right. Right. Was that and Cuckoo was Sterling's dad, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Wow, man, I could listen to old NASCAR stories all night long, Tony. Thank you for sharing some of those.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. I appreciate you. There's Max next up. Hey, Max, how are you?
Howard, doing great. How are you, Matt?
I'm great. I'm glad you called. What's on your mind?
Well, I had the distinct privilege of performing with Marty Robbins. I worked at Opryland back in the 70s and sang on the Grand Ole Opry and did some TV shows with him. But the other day, I was in Walmart and I came out and Marty Robbins' song El Paso was on the radio. And so I wrote a little bit of a parody, and I won't sing it all for you, but it goes, out at the Westchester Avenue Walmart, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. Darker than night were the eyes of Angelina Bonita Carmen Diego Escobar Fuentes. She was so lovely, my heart just unfurled. She was just standing alone there in produce, glancing at me as she held a plantain. I gathered all of the courage inside me. I was determined to learn all of her names. Then out of nowhere, a dozen or more short guys all over the place.
Short guys.
Quickly I learned that quickly I said that there was no problem. Suddenly I learned no one habla inglés. It goes on like that. But anyway, I met Mr. Robbins and got to play music with him several times. He was a great guy, and I mean, what a talent!
That's incredible.
Thanks for honoring him today.
Wow, man, that's awesome. I had no idea that we would be doing that. We brought up the Nashville. I mean, for those just joining us, you're like, why in the hell are they talking about Marty Robbins? That's one of the things I love about this show is that we never know where we're going.
Do you think they really wonder why?
Yeah, probably not anymore.
We're like, oh, what's Matt talking about? Marty Robbins? Yeah, pretty on brand.
Okay, sure. Max, that's it. Max, email me, matt@murphyshow.com, or hit me up on the super text and just let me know a little more about you, because I'd love to hear you swap stories. I mean, I love the old school stories like that. I'll tell you, I'm a sucker for them. I love the idea of you hanging out with Marty Robbins at Opryland and just kind of see. I mean, and it's pretty cool when one of your heroes turns out to be a nice guy, a good guy, and that's just that's pretty awesome. And thank you for the song, Max. That's pretty. Yeah. That's pretty good too. No habla inglés. No, so we talked about Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway earlier, and I made the point that during the Nashville 420, it was my understanding that Marty Robbins would run that race, and had to leave it. Apparently, there was some sort of problem on the track that delayed the race, and eventually he had to get back to the Grand Ole Opry to do his regular job. His regular job was not racing a race car. So the story, he blew his engine out. Is that what happened? That's what my dad told me. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I might have some of that. I admit that my details might be completely off. But so he blew out the 426 Hemi that he had, that he was running. 4543 wants to know if you high. Well, who are you talking to? It just says you high. You talking to me? You talking to Ken? You talking to Jackson? You talking to all three of us? The answer is yes. The answer is maybe. You never know. The Texas Democrats are on the way home. They have, and I'm not making this up, declared victory. Breaking news, the derelict House Democrats in the state of Texas are saying that they will be returning to the Texas House of Representatives for the Greg Abbott second special session in order to pass a new congressional map that will add what is believed to be 5 Republican House seats to the total. And obviously, elections have consequences, and you need to win those elections, but these are, quote-unquote, gerrymandered seats, the 5 of the, what do they have, 34 in Texas, if I'm not mistaken? Per ABC 13, quote, Democrats believe they've accomplished their mission. What? By killing the first special session and raising national awareness about the mid-decade redistricting effort. This is a load of Bravo Sierra, a load of BS. I mean, what mission was accomplished here except embarrassing yourself and refusing to do your job in the face of adversity? Greg Abbott called a special session. Greg Abbott will call another special session. Oh, by the way, the Texas Senate has already passed the redistricting map, and the second special session will be for the purpose of the House of Representatives to pass said same. And they're going to have to come home, and they're going to face the consequences, and they're going to face the music. And I believe that they should be met by the Texas Highway Patrol. There ought to be consequences for refusing to do your job in the state. And I hope that the Democrats face those consequences. But I love the fact that they are, quote, declaring victory, end quote, saying that they've accomplished their mission by killing the first special session and raising national awareness. You know what you've raised the national profile on? The fact that Democrats have been doing this crap for the last 50 years. And we all know it. I mean, I posted something the other day. Hold on, let me find this real quick. Where Democrats, you want to talk about national awareness. Those Texas Democrats saying that they're saving democracy by fleeing the state of Texas, considering the reapportionment of the congressional districts, the redrawing of the district lines. Let me just give you a few statistics here, all right? Massachusetts. Massachusetts is 36% Republican. How many seats do Republicans hold in the state of Massachusetts in Congress? That's right, 0. Connecticut, 42% Republican, 0 Republican seats. Maine, 46%, 0 Republican seats. New Mexico, 46%, 0 Republican seats. New Hampshire, 48% Republican, 0 seats. Rhode Island, 42% Republican, 0 seats. Vermont, 32% Republican, 0 seats. Hawaii, 38% Republican, 0 seats. Delaware, 42% Republican, 0 seats. You getting the message here? You getting the picture? No Republican representation in these states. Now, when's the last time you heard Matt Murphy or any other conservative or libertarian, for that matter, complain and moan about the fact that they have the opportunity to redraw these district lines? Obviously, they do, per the Constitution of the United States, as does Texas. It's high time, Republicans. And by the way, Tennessee, we plowed the field for this effort. Tennessee did it several years ago and redrew Nashville to take 1 Democrat seat and recreate it into 3 beautiful Republican seats. But don't worry, good old Steve Cohen, he's still over there in Memphis eating fried chicken. 21 after, I mean, he is, KFC. Don't give me that look. You don't know the backstory. Jackson gave me a look like, what? Steve Cohen brought a bucket of fried chicken to a congressional hearing one time. It's finger-licking good, I suppose. That's your Memphis. Right. I guess he was calling Republicans chicken or something.
Yeah, him and old high pants Jerry Nadler.
Oh, yeah, that's
over
right.
there yucking it up over some chicken.
Oh, biggin, high pants. High pants Jerry Nadler. Oh, man,
pulled up to his chest.
You ever see Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original, Jackson?
With Gene Wilder.
Uh-huh. You know, Violet, you're turning violet, Violet. You know how Violet looked after she turned into a blueberry?
Like a blueberry.
Yeah, that's Jerry Nadler, except not blue. He looks like a big blueberry. It's he needs to be squeezed, or he'll burst. It's 22 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy for Cover Nash. Are you tired of health insurance that feels like a mathematics examination? Well, I am. And I was until I got with Shane Ring and Cover Nash. Confusing percentages, surprise bills, and fine print that bites back can all be a thing of the past with Cover Nash. They've got a new nationwide PPO plan that gives you the freedom to choose your doctor anywhere in the United States of America without the headaches at only a $250 deductible. A flat copay after the deductible for just $50 for any doctor. Visit Even Specialists. Outpatient surgery, don't worry, a $250 copay. Hospital stay, a $1,000 copay. And on it goes. Call Shane Ring and ask him about this or any other incredible plan that he has at his fingertips at Cover Nash. He's got the right plan for you depending on your circumstances and your needs. He can find the right program for you because he works for you. He does not work for any one insurance company. It's Shane Ring. It's Cover Nash. Call him today at 615-465-0023, 465-0023, or online at covernash.com, covernash.com. If you're looking for a direct pay primary care provider, I found it, Grace Point Healthcare in Franklin, Tennessee. And if you don't understand the advantage from direct pay primary care provider as opposed to the other guys, you get immediate service, right? Same day, next day service, no long waiting times in the waiting area. Secondarily, you know exactly what you're paying at Grace Point Healthcare. There are no surprises. Thirdly, and perhaps most importantly, they're never going to allow an insurance company or a pharmaceutical company to get in the way of a good diagnosis at Grace Point. In other words, the doctor-patient relationship is the most important thing at Grace Point. And that's just incredible to know. They get to the root of the problem. They don't just treat the symptom with more pills or whatever the insurance company tells them to do because they don't have to worry about all of that. Now, you can certainly apply to your insurance company for reimbursement after the fact, but the point is, you have that doctor-patient relationship that we used to value so much in the United States of America, and we seem to have lost that. I love the fact that they're military veteran-owned. Patients are treated naturally whenever possible. At Grace Point, they believe in that relationship between you and your physician. Located in the heart of Franklin, stop by today, or better yet, call them and schedule that appointment, 599-6868, 599-6868. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way. Man, oh man, there are now And I'm not getting in the middle of it. There are hot and heavy debates going on the super text line and other places regarding some of the veracity and accuracy of some of the things that have been said about the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, particularly concerning Marty Robbins and others. That caller was so far off base, Matt, it's not even funny. Cuckoo Marlin was 7'11". Charlie Brinkley did not get killed at the Speedway. Russ Thompson knows all of these things. He's a walking encyclopedia of the Nashville Speedway. I'm the adopted grandson of Jimmy Griggs. Russ can reach me, et cetera, et cetera. We know a lot of the history of the Speedway. Russ knows a lot more. We might do that one of these days. Reach out and have somebody on to tell us a little bit of the history and reminisce a little bit, get nostalgic, and perhaps that would inspire some of our local leadership to do something about it and kind of bring back those good old days. Larry writes in and says Marty Robbins turned his car into the wall to keep from T-boning a driver by the name of Richard Childress. Marty could have died. Richard Childress, a car owner now, obviously. Steve said he was close. Cuckoo drove 14, which is why Tony Stewart asked Sterling if it was okay if he could use it. Daryl drove the 48, owned by P.B. Crowell. Charlie Brinkley died of old age. Roy Binkley painted all of the cars. And every Saturday, you could tell which Opry show Marty was on by whether or not he was putting on or taking off his driver's suit in the pits running to a car. Well, look, I mean, memory's a strange thing, and I don't fault anybody for look, I wish I could tell you that my memory was a lockbox, a steel trap. It is not, and I'm 51 years of age, a lot younger than some of y'all that have those wonderful memories out at the track. So I'm not faulting anybody for their memory on any of this. I'm just glad that we have those old memories at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. And you know what I wish? I wish we could create new. And I understand they're still racing out there, but they won't be 3 years from now, and that's the point. If something's not done to that speedway, they will not be racing out there. You will not see the quarter midgets. You will not see those legend cars. Time number 2. Quarter midgets, that's a type of car.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's not.
All right,
That's not like a infield show between races.
I've never been to a NASCAR race in that.
Man, we need to go, baby. I'll take you to Bristol. You want to go with me to Bristol?
I'd go with you to Bristol.
Oh, man. I think we missed our chance this year, but we'll go next year. Next spring, me and you, Bristol. Is there another race in Bristol? I'll find out during the break while Ken Weaver's delivering the newscast on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Friends, Defend Systems is a one-stop shop for all things protection when it comes to your place of business, your church, your school, or any place that people gather. Brink Fiddler wants to inform you. He wants to make sure that you're educated. He wants to make sure that you are ready and able to protect yourself, defend yourself in the unlikely event that you encounter a negative situation at your place of business, at your school, at your church, or any place that people gather. Bottom line is this. Hope is not a plan, folks. It's a dangerous world. We hear these stories all the time about incidents that occur in public places. Is your business protected? And if not, does your staff know what to do? If not, why not? Let's get them ready. Reach out today at 615-236-6484. They do site survey and threat assessment, workplace violence prevention, security improvement consultation, emergency and intruder action plans, all designed for your facility and for your staff at your specifications. Go to defendsystems.com or 615-236-6484 for our friends at Defend Systems. Oh, I haven't forgotten about the little pencil neck, Adam Schiff. We'll get to that momentarily on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Democrats are apparently pro-crime in Washington, D.C. More on that as well. And Simone Sanders said something odd on MSNBC. Well, I guess not odd because not odd for her. But I'm wondering if there are any black women in the listening audience, and if so, if they agree with Simone Sanders, because Simone Sanders said, as a black woman in America, more police on the streets do not make me feel more safe. What? What in the world are you talking about? What in the world are you talking about? That's a you problem. That's not a me problem. That's not a police problem. That's a you problem. In the meantime, Donald Trump says he will sit down and meet with Vladimir Putin this Friday coming up in Alaska. They are setting details and finalizing the Trump-Putin détente. Is that right? Détente? I'm gonna go with it. And the debate continues about what the car number for Marty Robbins was and whether or not Charlie Brinkley died at Nashville Fairground Speedway.
Is that the guy who got hit with the battery?
No, that was Tony's uncle.
That sounds like the worst possible way to go.
Not a good way. And you know what? You would think that even back then in the 1960s, for example, that they would have already recognized the need to kind of strap that battery down.
Yeah, if we're going to go like over 100 miles an hour, hey, let's make sure the big metal thing that's electrocuting people.
Right. I
mean,
the big
make sure that's secure.
Yeah, the big heavy thing that can bounce around the compartment.
Yeah.
Maybe we should secure that thing. I think that's probably a good idea. In the meantime, Scott Jennings is a national treasure. He joined these liberal morons on CNN last night to talk about Washington, D.C., and whether or not it was a safe place. A total truth bomb from Scott Jennings.
But there's an obvious difference between D.C. and any other city in America. You know, a few months ago, I was in Union Station and saw a body hit the floor at the bottom of the escalator in Union Station because there was a murder right in front of me. Up on the second floor, I was going to get a tie, and I heard the shots and saw the body hit the floor. So I've been listening all day long to people trying to make some argument that Washington, D.C. is a safe place. It's not a safe place. And we can argue about statistics and numbers. There's a police commander right now on suspension because there's some allegation that the statistics have been altered. But we can argue about that all day long. Nobody in their right mind who lives there or visits there on a regular basis would tell you that Washington, D.C. is safe, and everybody who goes there knows it. But there's an obvious difference.
Everybody who goes there knows it. Everybody knows it. For Jennings, it is as simple as this. Donald Trump wants to make America safer. He wants to make Washington, D.C. safer. Now, I said to you earlier it wasn't yesterday. I guess it was last week. I do not believe that Donald Trump has the authority to do this in any other major American city, nor should he have that authority. That is not under the umbrella of authority from the federal government. Only if asked by the governor of the various states, the governors of the various states, or through the local municipality, they would appeal to their governor, and then the governor would ultimately appeal to the federal authorities, because the federal government should not have the ability to take over Dallas, Texas, or Sacramento, California, or Nashville, Tennessee. That is up to the local governed by the body that they elected to govern them. And you get what you vote for. You reap what you sow. And if enough crime happens, then hopefully the idea is that the people will go to the polls and they'll vote the bums out that allow the crime to occur. But obviously Donald Trump knows what he's doing. Obviously he has this authority, and the Democrats know it. What are they so afraid of? That he will clean up crime in the city that the nation calls its capital? Jennings said that the reality is simple. Trump's move is about doing what he can right now to make America a safer place.
What the president is responding to today is, what can I do today? D.C. is the only city I really have control of, so I'm going to try to give them some support. He's getting a note of confidence from the D.C. police union. I suspect if they did things in other cities, other police unions in those cities would also offer some support. And so what I would simply say is that all you can do is hit the next shot. And the next shot right now, I think for a lot of Americans, is what can be done today to reduce violent crime and to make me feel safer in my neighborhood. I think he's going to get a lot of political support for the idea that the federal government's getting a little more muscular when it comes to cracking down on violent criminals.
I absolutely love the idea. I love what Trump is doing, and hopefully other major metropolitan areas get the message. If he demonstrates that it can be done, then places like Chicago and New York and, yes, Nashville, Tennessee, then you have no other excuses, do you? Why do we allow this to occur? And why would we not applaud Donald Trump in his effort to stop it, at least in a city where he has the authority to do so? Washington, D.C. Thank you, President Trump. Every Democrat should be saying thank you, too, for protecting America's capital. Mike is in Old Hickory. Hello, Mike.
How you doing?
Great, Mike. I hope you are.
One last thing. When Trump goes up to Anchorage to meet Putin, I'm hoping he's going to say, you know what? I'm glad you came here, Vladimir, because you made the stupidest real estate deal in the history of mankind when you sold us Alaska for $7 million. So either you're going to get serious about peace, or I'm going to get on the airplane and turn around, come back to Washington, D.C., and you can enjoy the beauty of Alaska that you sold to us for nothing because you're so stupid. And that's what I hope President Trump's going to do, because if he doesn't, then he's walking into Putin's, setting a trap for him to get back on the world stage. And the world stage is Alaska was bought for $7 million from Russia.
Yeah, I don't know that Vladimir Putin was around to have anything to do with that, but, I mean, I guess, you're referring to the nation. Right. No, well, and now you're listening. Yeah, thank you, Mike, for the call. I was endeavoring in having a conversation, and Mike started listening on the radio. We can't have that. Mike is referring to, did you learn about this in school?
Yeah, the United States acquired Alaska from Russia for $7 million.
You remember what it was called?
The Alaska deal. We bought Alaska. We acquired Alaska.
Well, that's what some called it.
Alaska purchase agreement. Alaska receipt. Alaska bill of sale.
That's not. It was known as Seward's Folly.
Who's Seward?
Well.
Oh, he's the president of Russia.
He was not the president of Russia. He was the Secretary of State for the United States of America at the time in 1860 and 7. Young Jackson.
Oh, so just in your childhood.
Right in my neck of the woods. William H. Seward negotiated a deal to purchase Alaska from Russia for $7.2 million. The treaty was approved by the Senate 37-2. Now, the term Seward's Folly emerged due to public skepticism about the deal. Some called it Seward's Icebox. Others called it Seward's Polar Bear Garden.
Are there polar bears up there?
In the northern regions of Alaska, I think you can find a polar bear too. What's the old saying, Jackson? If you encounter a bear,
it's more scared of you than you are of it.
That is not true.
Approach and yell wildly.
For some, if it's black, fight back. If it's brown, lay on the ground. If it's white, you're going to die, or something like that.
If it's white, you're going to die.
I'm almost there. I haven't thought of this in 20 years.
If it's white, you're going to die.
No, it's like, if it's white, say goodnight. That's what it is. If it's brown,
if it's black,
fight back. If it's brown, lay on the ground. If it's white, say goodnight.
What does that mean?
That means you're not going to win a polar bear fight. There's no way to fight back.
It's not going to offer you a cold Coca-Cola?
A polar bear is not what you say on TV. A polar bear is very mean and angry, and they want to stain their beautiful white fur with your blood. And that's what they want to do. Yeah, Seward's Icebox. So the perception was strong with Republican newspapers at the time. Historians argue that the idea of widespread public disapproval was a historical myth, although some expressed their disapproval in newspapers and the like. A majority of U.S. citizens in 1867 actually couldn't give a damn. No, I take it back. They
had other things to worry about, famine, dysentery.
Reconstruction in the American South in the aftermath of the Civil War.
Yeah, there were bigger fish to fry than the icebox.
Oh, yeah, sure. They had the outlaw Josie Wales was on the loose.
Didn't Abe Lincoln get shot?
Abe had just gotten shot a couple of years before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I feel like there were just bigger issues than.
I mean, obviously, it was not a folly in as much as the mineral resources alone pretty much justify the $7.2 million price tag, and then some, and then some, and then some, and then some. So, Mike, to your point, I suppose that President Trump could go up to Vladimir Putin and talk about old history, or he could attempt to negotiate a peace, which Donald Trump says he's pretty good at it, and I don't know how good he is at negotiating peace. He's pretty good at negotiating trade deals and the like. So let's hope that he can get Putin on record. Trump said earlier this week, look, I'll know within 2 minutes whether or not I can make a deal. I'll know within 2 minutes, and I'll report back to you after we talk. And no, Volodymyr Zelensky does not need to be there because I'm trying to figure out where our negotiations start with Vladimir Putin. So there you go. 615-737-9986. It's 10 until the top of the hour on Super Talk. Michael and his team at Alpha and Omega want to talk with you, you business owners. If you're out there in the wilderness and you don't understand your computer systems and you don't understand your IT and your printer's not working, or maybe you don't know if you are cyber secure, Michael and his team at Alpha and Omega need to talk with you because they can help. They've been doing this for a long time. And as a business owner, your time's important. When you have IT issues, you don't need to call a call center on the other side of the world or talk to some AI chat box to attempt to fix your problems. You want Alpha and Omega. As computer consultants, local expertise and local help is available right here in the state of Tennessee. Now, even if you have an IT person on staff, what happens when that IT person takes a vacation or has a sick day? What if your system goes down while they're out of pocket? You need a backup plan, and that backup plan is Alpha and Omega. They can help every single part of your computer system from start to finish. That's why they call themselves Alpha and Omega. Avoid being a cyber attack victim. Contact Alpha and Omega and get yourself protected. 615-784-0096, 784-0096, or A&O.net. Alpha and Omega, A&O.net. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Thank you for being around. Whatever time you're able to give us, we're certainly appreciative. On this Tuesday, we've had a good time. I still have the Adam Schiff story to get to. 1513 says, I thought we were already in a civil war. And what? No. 1867 was out of the Civil War. The Civil War ended in 1865, Courthouse at Appomattox, little deal between Grant and Robert E. Lee decided to end the cessation of the hostilities. Sadly, Abraham Lincoln he died that April, 1865, at the hands of the assassin, the cowardly John Wilkes Booth. Yeah, I said it. Kind of a cowardly act. And it was 2 years later that William Seward purchased Alaska for the skinny sum, large at the time, of $7.2 million. Democrat whistleblower told FBI that Adam Schiff approved leaks to target Donald Trump. Adam Schiff needs to be in jail. There's no question about it. I love these Democrats that say they believe in the rule of law, and when they're caught violating the rule of law, suddenly they claim that these are political persecutions. They are not. A Democrat whistleblower told the FBI that Adam Schiff approved leaking classified information in order to discredit Donald Trump, according to a newly released document. The document, which was obtained by Just the News, handed over to Congress by FBI Director Kash Patel. The whistleblower reportedly worked for Democrats on the House Intelligence Committee for over 10 years and reported Schiff's alleged behavior to the FBI in 2017. According to the report, the intelligence staffer called the leaking treasonous and illegal, in addition to being unethical. He was most recently interviewed by the FBI in 2023. He has stood by his story that entire time. The FBI refused to do anything about it in 2017, as you might expect. The staffer also said that he was personally attending a meeting where Schiff greenlit the leak. Quote, when working in this capacity, I was called to an all-staff meeting by Schiff. In this meeting, Schiff stated that the group would leak classified information, which was derogatory to the President of the United States of America. Schiff stated the information would be used to indict Donald Trump, the President of the United States. The whistleblower went on to say that it would be illegal, and upon hearing his concern, unnamed members of the meeting reassured that they would not be caught leaking classified information, according to the report. John Solomon, co-author of the piece with Just the News' Jerry Dunleavy, said this is one of the first of several major leak investigations we're going to see over the next several days. And the mainstream media will report none of it, because they are in the bag for the Democrats. That doesn't fit their narrative. These people broke the law, and they need to be persecuted and prosecuted to the best of our abilities. And, yeah, I said both. Wednesday edition coming up tomorrow on the Matt Murphy Radio Show. Cameron Smith, our good friend, will be with us. Plus, we'll drop a new release of All the Best Words. Look for that on your YouTube, your Facebook, and all of that. It's time for Mark Levin, for Jackson Williams, Ken Weaver, and the rest of the gang. Thank you for being with us. Hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.